This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into Scott Community High School. Devin Haney along with Jathan Show. Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering just in time for you to see the Southeast of Saline Trojans take the field. Trojans come into Scott City. They are a perfect 7-0 on the season, and they are looking to round out the regular season with an 8-0 record and go on into the playoffs next week. One thing we do know about next week, not to look ahead because I know the one game at a time mentality that Coach Gebhardt and this coaching staff has, is there will be a home game in the first round of the playoffs. Go ahead and make your travel plans now. We will be on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School next week to take on the Marysville Bulldogs from the NCKL. Southeast of Saline comes in. They're a plus 84. They've already clinched the district. They will take on Scott City looking for points and looking for a win and to strengthen their district hold tonight. Back with more Southeast of Saline pregame after this on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Salina Septic Services provides septic services including septic tank installation, inspection, and repair. In addition to professional septic tank services, we also provide portable restroom rentals. We have many options available, including his and hers portable restrooms and hand washing sinks. Setup, service, and removal are all part of our rentals. Whether you project a long-term construction job or a family gathering, we guarantee a clean porta potty. Find us today at SalinaSepticService.com, proudly supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're listening to Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Scott City High School, Scott Community High School, if you want to be technical about it. It's the home of the Beavers. Jathan Show is on the field. Devin Haney here in the booth. Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering. Coin toss yet to take place here between the Trojans and the Beavers as we look at the rest of the district tonight. Scott City really in a beehive right now. They are -4 with a 2-2 record. Also with a 2-2 record is Colby. They're at a +7. Russell at 2-2 is a -4. They're dead even with Scott City, but they won the head-to-head with Scott City this year. Colby will be at Goodland tonight. Goodland pretty much dead in the water. Russell will be at Smoky Valley. Smoky Valley 1-3. They're -28. Their path is very, very difficult. So really, it may be a 3-team show for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in this district, District 6 in Class 3A, between Scott City, Colby, and Russell. District 5, when we look at them tonight and their path, Riley County, they've clinched to the division. They're already on the way to the playoffs, just like Southeast of Saline. They are at Marysville. Marysville already locked into the 4, and their road trip to Southeast of Saline for first-round playoff action next Friday night. Concordia and Chapman, this is the interesting one now. Concordia 3-1 in district play. They're at a +42. They are at Chapman, who's also 3-1 in district play. They're at a +22. Concordia owns 20 points on Chapman, but as we know, going head-to-head, those points can swing very easily. If Chapman wins by, say, 12, automatically that's going to take 12 points off of Concordia's total, back them back to 30. It's going to put Chapman at a +34. The Irish advance. Not only is that for district number 2 in district number 5, the second place, but it's also for the NCKL title. So that's something to watch tonight. Also in that district number 5, Council Grove and Clay Center having a throwaway game. Those are both teams that will not make the playoffs. South and Central, they tangle tonight. And Jathan Show, one of the big ones in Class 3 that you and I talked about, 2 undefeated teams in the same district. And this has a lot of implications other than just a district championship. Undefeated Andale, number 1 in Class 3A, plays undefeated Wichita Collegiate, number 2 in Class 3A tonight.
And that's just something, an interesting game for, Southeast Saline fans. That's who Southeast Saline lost to last year was Wichita Collegiate, but it's just interesting to see how they'll meet up at the end of the year, just to see how that division works out.
Southeast of Saline won the toss. They deferred. They are going to kick off to Scott City as you view it here on SalinaPost.com with live stream video. Brought to you by Salina Septic Service. You will see the Trojans wearing their white tops, purple pants, purple helmet. They will kick off from right to left as we view it from the home stands to a Scott City team that is wearing Columbia blue. That's the North Carolina blue. Helmets, pants, dark blue uniform, white numerals trimmed in Columbia blue as well. Good looking, kind of unique uniforms here in a beautiful facility on the campus of Scott Community High School. This facility pretty much redone and renovated with a school bond issue of $25 million back in 2018. And I tell you what, Jathan, we just keep looking around. It is such a beautiful facility.
It sure is. And we've noticed when we were driving down Main Street here in Scott City, the texture, architecture they did on the Scott City Community High School just was looking phenomenal with the blue up in the top corner. Just really nice facility, and they're really grasping Scott City Beavers here.
Southeast had an offsides on the first kickoff attempt by Wyatt Boyd. They're going to try it again. This one's going to bounce at the 20. May have went out of bounds, but Scott City's going to pick it up and dive out of bounds with the football. I'm not sure what the Beavers were thinking there. They're going to go out of bounds at the 15 and start the drive there instead of the 35. A crucial mistake early on by the Scott City Beavers. Brady Welker got that football as it appeared rolling out of bounds. It's going to cost him 20 yards.
That sure is, and that ball took a wicked bounce to the left of him, and that's why he had to just dive out of bounds to even catch it because he already touched it. So the clock is already going to start.
I want to thank you for joining us for Southeast of Saline Trojan football. Again, you can hear this radio broadcast online, SalinaPost.com, along with live stream video. Scott City starting offense right in front of you, first down and 10 at their own 15-yard line. They're going to turn, give it to the fullback. First man through. It will be a dive play by Brady Welker. Welker will come out across the 20, get to the 21. It's a gain of 6 yards by Welker on first down.
Just a great up move there for Welker. Getting into the secondary for Southeast Saline. Southeast Saline will have to plug up that middle when too easy right up the line.
Southeast defense up front. It'll be Jasper McDowell anchoring a defensive line with a couple of kind of newbies around him. Dawson Adams out tonight. Braxton Blake will take his spot. Evan Nicholson will play for Dalton Bunch, who is also out tonight. Luke Obermeyer and Jace Van Amberg will be rotators on the other side of that defensive line. Back to the line of scrimmage, Dylan Metzger has a second down and 4. He's going to hand it off again, straight up the gut. They'll go to Welker. Welker will get the line of scrimmage, and then not much more as he is backed up there by that Southeast defensive line.
Early on, Matthew already sniffing out that line, reading that line, got a hand on him in the backfield, which slowed him down with no gain for the Beavers going on the third down.
Football still sitting at the 22-yard line. It is going to be third down and 4 for Scott City. Just underway, opening drive of the contest. Scott City's Dylan Metzger has thrown the ball 65 times, 106 completions, 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, including 4 last week. Third down and 4. Here comes the blitz. Rodriguez trying to get through. He does now. He's chasing Metzger, and he's going to be arrested in the backfield. A quarterback sack back at the 11 by Caden Isaacson. That time, Jathan, they sent both Caden Isaacson and Matthew Rodriguez, both of the middle linebackers, on a blitz, and it's an 11-yard loss for Scott City.
Yeah, run right up the middle there. Nice job by Caden Isaacson and Matthew Rodriguez splitting that gap and getting that loss for 10 on the play for Southeast.
Metzger backed up all the way to the 11-yard line. Now it's going to be fourth down and about 15 for Scott City. They're in punt formation. Lone man back deep for Southeast of Saline will be Michael Murray. Going off a Southeast of Saline helmet at the 40, and now it's going to be a rush to cover it up. It looks like Southeast of Saline may have covered it up. Johnny on the spot that time was Mac Chambers. Boy, Mac Chambers over the last few weeks just can't do anything wrong. He's playing so well, and he will come out with the Southeast of Saline offense and help anchor that offensive line. Chambers will be at guard tonight in place of Dalton Bunch. Also up there will be Wade Rutherford in place of Dawson Adams. Braxton Blake is still your center with Evan Nicholson and Eli Jackson playing on the left-hand side at guard and tackle, respectively. Luke Gebhardt, of course, your quarterback, along with Matthew Rodriguez at running back, and we will see a plethora of wide receivers, including Michael Murray for the first time in a few weeks. Remember, Michael injured a foot back at the Colby game. It was the first play of the game from offense for Colby. He made a tackle, slow to get up, and he has not played in the last 2 contests. Murray is solo out to the left. Gebhardt, play action, wants to go over the middle. Landon Allen catches it out in front, fighting for a first down. He'll have 9 to the 32-yard line.
Just a quick slant route there. And Gebhardt almost looked like he had a no-look pass there, looking to the left, and he just knew where Landon Allen was going to be at on that spot. A quick, easy gain of 8 on the play is a sure grab hands by Landon.
They are going to say 8 on the play. That advances the football to the 32-yard line for Southeast of Saline. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Jake Gebhardt a solo to the right. Here's play action again to Rodriguez. Luke's going to keep it straight up the gut. He's in the second level, and he is gone to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Southeast. A 2-play drive with 9:24 left to go in the opening quarter. No flags. The Southeast of Saline on the board with the 8th rushing touchdown of the year from junior quarterback Luke Gebhardt.
Nice job by that line there, getting up to the secondary, getting those linebackers, and causing that Welker, the only man to miss really for Gebhardt, as they go for 2 here.
Southeast of Saline now will set up the gate after their first score. Heavy to the left. Gebhardt on the shotgun. He's going to roll out to the right. Has a couple of possibilities. Let's go shallow to Landon Allen as he was getting pressure, and he's going to have to dump that off incomplete. So the point after no good, but the first score is up for Southeast of Saline on their first drive. 9:24 left to go opening quarter. Trojans lead it 6-0 from Scott City, and it's brought to you by Saline Septic Service.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
2-play drive for Southeast of Saline, a 32-yard touchdown run for Luke Gebhardt. On the season now for Luke, that is his 8th rushing touchdown as the junior quarterback continues to rack up the scores for Southeast of Saline, and the Trojans here grabbing an early lead on the road.
Southeast did a nice job there on that offensive play, just settling down, getting their sure passes. Just a great first drive there for the Trojans.
Wyatt Boyd has it teed up, ready to kick it away once again. He's going to angle this one over to the left-hand side. It will be taken here by Scott City at the 19-yard line out to the 20, 25, 30. And then Mac Chambers with the tackle here at the 33-yard line. On the return, that time for Scott City, Cesar Peregrino. And he will be brought down just short of the 35. They're going to say the 34, and that's where the Beavers will start out. Much better field position than what they had on their first drive of the game. Let's run out that Southeast of Saline defense for you. Wyatt Boyd out there along with Jake Gebhardt. Michael Murray will play a little bit of defense tonight. We don't know how much. Cameron Whitty also out there. Daniel Kerr, Luke Gebhardt, Matthew Rodriguez, Landon Allen, Caden Isaacson. All will be out there for Southeast of Saline. We'll see a lot of dudes playing defense tonight for the Trojans. Chase Van Amberg out there right now on the left-hand side. Here's the pitch. Scott City wants to go to their left. Southeast of Saline's right. A little dip inside. And Southeast with the pursuit all the way to the sideline. And a little bit of late action over there. I don't see a flag, though, Jathan, on your side of the field.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of got twisted around. And this, I mean, it's only 6 feet away from where the track is at. I mean, this is as close as I've been on a field for a while, next to the sideline. It's just really close and got thrown into this Trojans fans, or Trojans people. But that's one thing we'll have to keep an eye on later on, is it might get a little heated later on.
Cesar Peregrino with that carry of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3. Football out to the 42-yard line. Here's the give, straight up the gut again. It looks like this is fullback Brady Welker. Welker is going to sniff the line of scrimmage, but have no gain on the play. Caden Isaacson at the bottom of the pile there for Southeast of Saline.
Nice job by Jasper, reaching out and slowing him down a little bit. Finished off by Caden Isaacson, doing a nice job with Matthew up there too.
3rd down and 3 for Scott City from their own 42. 8:47 left to go here first quarter. 6-0 Southeast of Saline. Beavers break the huddle. They're going to send 2 wide receivers, now make it 3 to the right-hand side. Tight end Gus Hawkins will go a solo to his left. He's a big guy. I want to keep an eye on him. 6'6". Here's a pass now by Metzger out on a bubble screen, and it is blown up by Matthew Rodriguez and Landon Allen. That play never really had a chance of getting out of the blocks for the Scott City Beavers, as Landon Allen and Matthew Rodriguez both there. They'll allow a force a 4th down for Scott City. Now what do you do if you're the Beavers here, Jathan? You feel like maybe you need to punt. You're on your own side of the 50, but you also have to keep up with the Southeast offense.
Yeah, you just, but this close, I don't know if they'll have that opportunity, but they are going to come out in punt formation. I thought they'd try to at least go for it on this 4th down opportunity.
Welker back deep to punt for Scott City. Michael Murray is solo, and a Beaver moves up front. Out of the stance for Scott City and a penalty. That'll back him up 5. Back to the 37 now. Well, they'll go the line of scrimmage.
Now you definitely will punt.
Good to see Michael Murray back out there after a few games where he could not play. Getting his feet back underneath him. Here's the lazy snap back to Welker. Welker's going to put his foot in, and it's going to take a bounce past Michael Murray. Michael will very intelligently let it go, and it's going to go all the way down inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And that is where Southeast of Saline will come out and start their second drive of the game. Already leading 6-0. Live stream video on SalinaPost.com. Brought to you by our friends at Salina Septic Service. I want to thank Callie and Cole for their generous sponsorship of tonight's game and able to do live stream video so everybody can watch wherever they may be. Southeast from their own 18. Here's the carry out to the right-hand side. Matthew Rodriguez. He steps through a couple of tackles. Now first down yardage and more as he gets a gain of 16. Rodriguez on his first carry of the night. Bouncing all the way to the outside for a big gain.
Matthew with his stiff arm getting a defender off his shoulder and just going up the field. Another gain of 20 on the play for Southeast. Just a quick moving for pace for Southeast.
Out to the 35, already back at the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Here's the ball on the ground. Gebhardt and Rodriguez wanting to run that read option, and the ball popped out. One above hit one of their shoulder pads, fell to the ground. Gebhardt picked it up, and then he was thrown for a 3-yard loss. So a little bit of a mistake there between the junior quarterback and the senior tailback. That'll bring up second down and 13. And the line of scrimmage now at the 32. Second down and 13. 3 wide receivers again to the left-hand side. Gebhardt will roll that way. Has the ball out in front of him. He's going to throw it down the middle of the field looking for brother Jake. And it is going to bounce incomplete. That was kind of a desperation throw, it looked like, Jathan, from Luke Gebhardt. We don't see that often. Usually he is a very high completion guy on the season, 78% completions on the year, and we don't see a lot of that.
No, we sure don't, and that's is right between Murray and Gebhardt, just quite couldn't decide who he's going to pass it to, and just threw up in the middle of him, and just unfortunate there for Southeast. They've got a long 3rd down conversion here.
3rd and 13, staring the Trojans in the face. They're back at their own 32-yard line. Good crowd here in Scott City, and these folks are into this game. They know their Beavers need some points, maybe even a win. Gebhardt, play action, drops back, wants to go deep again. Ball up in the air. Jake Gebhardt giving chase, and it's going to fall 3 yards out in front of him. Good coverage there by Scott City, and perhaps another overthrown ball by Luke Gebhardt. He's 1 of 3 starting this game, as early on we see Southeast going for the deep shot here.
Yeah, it's just uncommon, but maybe after that second down or that first down play, the loss of 3, kind of just it's like, all right, let's get some of those yards back. But nickel and diamond down is where Southeast Saline does the best at.
Bring on a rare formation that we don't see very often. Punt formation for Southeast of Saline. Luke Obermeyer standing back inside of his own 20-yard line. Good snap back to Obermeyer from Mac Chambers. He will uncork a punt here. That'll be bobbled by Scott City. Now the Beavers have problems. Back to their own 25. They recover the football, but then they pay. Boy, Wyatt Boyd down there to make the stop for Southeast of Saline, and he's had a really good last couple of weeks.
He sure has. That home game he had against Smoky Valley last week, just offensive and defensive side doing well, and even on special teams, Wyatt Boyd is doing a lot of good for Southeast Saline, but that was a great punt there by Luke Obermeyer, pinning him back deep, just kicked him right to him, and he still couldn't just handle that punt.
There is a flag on the play. It looked like Slade Johnson also down there, and they're going to say this is a procedure penalty against Southeast of Saline. Obviously, if you're Scott City, you probably want to make them redo this because you have the ball at the 25. It's decent field position, but you feel like you can get a much better spot here if you have a better return and not bobble the football. So they will make Southeast of Saline punt this once again. Obermeyer has to be salivating just a little bit at that. We've seen him uncork some beauties this year.
What was that first punt he had, like a 66-yard punt?
Unreal. First week of the season against Minneapolis at home, yeah. Not wind-dated either. We don't have much wind here tonight to talk about. Jathan, you're on the field. 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's just a breeze, keeping everybody cool. At kickoff, it was 68 degrees. We're going to be down probably around 55 degrees by the time this is all over with.
Yeah, just a gorgeous night for football here on a Friday night out in Scott City. No wind, like I said. Even the goalpost flags aren't even blowing.
Line of scrimmage now at the 27-yard line. Obermeyer asks for the football. Another beautiful snap by Mac Chambers, and Obermeyer again uncorks another punt. Bounces at the 25, and it's going to take a really good bounce for Southeast of Saline and Scott City on that decision to make Southeast of Saline punt again. It will cost them -5. Now they will start back at the 20-yard line instead of the 25. And Obermeyer, we said it, he got a chance to get wind speed and everything down, and boy, he just uncorked another beautiful punt.
Yeah, letting off that punt, just waving it off, let the ball see what's going to happen was costly because that bounced another 15 yards past where it originally started at the 35.
53-yard punt from Obermeyer. And that'll pin the Beavers back now just inside of their own 20-yard line. Third drive of the game coming up. One wide receiver, double wingbacks here. The fullback will leave for Scott City, and they're going to try an inside handoff. That is not effective against Southeast of Saline's defense. It will go for no gain on the play. Matthew Rodriguez there to make the stop.
And Braxton Blake doing a nice job plugging up that middle as well with Rodriguez. A gain of 1 on the play. Short gain for the Beavers.
Colin McDaniel, the carry on the play. They're going to give him a half a yard. 6:24 left to go. First quarter, 6-0, Southeast of Saline. They scored on a Luke Gebhardt 32-yard touchdown run. Stacked backfield once again with one wide receiver. Metzger wanting to roll out. Landon Allen in front of him. And Metzger's going to pass this one after he took a big shot from Landon Allen. And the first pass attempt of the game by Dylan Metzger in Scott City is incomplete.
Through to the land of Trojans there. It almost looked like Jake Gebhardt got a hand on it and tipped it away. See what Scott City does here on this third down.
Third down and a long 9. Ball sitting just outside of the 20-yard line. Scott City needs to cross the 30 to have a chance to keep this drive on a new set of downs and avoid fourth down. 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Metzger asking for the snap. He has it. Now he's in trouble, under pressure. He tries to step up, and he's going to be sacked back at the 19-yard line. Jasper McDowell got a hold of him first, but then Evan Nicholson came in his sidecar, and another sack for Southeast of Saline. That's their second of the game, and it's about a 2-yard loss here for Scott City.
Yeah, Southeast Saline just was in the backfield like nobody was even blocking him on the line. All 3 linemen were back there just ready to sack that quarterback.
Now a stoppage in play here is one of the linemen trying to come off for Scott City. Looks like the Beavers will be in punt formation here with a 4th down and 11 coming up. Back deep again, standing at midfield, junior Michael Murray for the Trojans. 5:40 left to play, first period.
I thought Michael Murray showed great patience there in that first punt return. Being out for several games, you thought he might be ready to just run one back.
Welker standing back at his own goal line. He has to jump to get this snap in, and he still uncorks a beautiful punt. Murray's going to chase it back to the 41, and then at the last second, bails out and gets out of the fort. And this ball's going to die here in this turf at Scott City at about the 36-yard line. So Southeast of Saline will come out now and have their third possession of the game. So far, it just kind of feels like 2 heavyweight fighters just feeling each other out. Southeast, Jathan, got an early punch in with that 6 points up on the board, but these 2 teams have kind of equaled each other out here lately.
They sure have, and field position right now is where they're playing on each other, but hopefully Southeast Saline can start going back where they started their second possession with Matthew Rodriguez getting a long run. See what they do on this drive.
Gebhardt with 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. They're going to give it to Rodriguez. He fights off to the left-hand side, and he will get maybe a yard. Not much more than that, as this Scott City defense, they're on time. Rodriguez with 2 carries now, 17 yards. Early score for you, an NCAA school, Republic County, playing Nemaha Central tonight. Nemaha Central up early on, 7-0. Other games going on. Minneapolis is at Ellsworth. Beloit plays Hoisington. That's for a district title. Sacred Heart plays Plainville. El Saline at Ellenwood. Harrington at Bennington. Solomon at Little River. And then, of course, South and Central at Salina Stadium. Play action to Rodriguez. Gebhardt now is going to roll out. Finds Landon Allen. And Allen gets a yard on a beautiful open field tackle by Dylan Metzger. Boy, he came up from that free safety spot and was able to arrest Landon Allen after just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by Metzger. Getting the ankles of Landon Allen. You usually see Landon Allen kind of break those and get upfield, but tremendous speed there by Metzger getting Allen down.
Southeast of Saline now with the football at the 37-yard line. 3rd down and long once again. The Trojans not accustomed to being not only in 3rd and long, but seeing 3rd down at all here over the past few weeks. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Boyd, Murray, Allen. Gebhardt looking that way. There's a flag on the play. Gebhardt tried to go right in the middle of the field to Michael Murray, and it's batted down incomplete, but we have to check the flag. The referee right in front of the Scott City bench threw the flag. It is a procedure penalty against Southeast of Saline. So 5 yards back here, they'll get 3rd down over. Oh, they're going to decline it.
That'll bring up 4th down for Southeast. Another decision here for the Trojans coaches staff as they were going to wrap the punting team.
Doesn't look like there's much of one. They're going to send Obermeyer back out there again. And really no reason to get greedy here. You're on the road. You're settling in. You have a great punter and a really good defense. Did I understate that at all when I said really good defense? Oh, and this is a bad punt. It's barely going to clear the line of scrimmage, but it takes a great Trojan roll to the 37-yard line where Scott City went and covered it up for some reason. I'm not sure why they even got near that football. That's dangerous, but they did. And the Beavers now will have their best starting field position of the night at the 37. So even though a questionable punt there that barely cleared the line of scrimmage, still ends up going for about 26 yards. Could have been a lot worse. So the Beavers will start out here their 4th drive of the game. 3:42 left to play opening quarter. Southeast of Saline's defense being called on once again. Van Amberg coming off the left-hand side. They're going to pitch out. Sweep left for Scott City. Welker going to take it 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards now. And a fumble comes out. The ball is loose. Jathan, you take it.
We got a fumble on the play. It looks like number 12, Wyatt Boyd, on the recovery. He got stripped there by the group of D-backs there. Landon Allen came up and got a punched out. I don't know who really initiated it, but it got recovered by Wyatt Boyd for Southeast, and they're going to have 1st and 10 on the Beavers' 44-yard line.
Wyatt Boyd does it again. Tell you what, this kid right now, his trajectory of just confidence and performance is just skyrocketing as he is able to recover that fumble. And Southeast of Saline now in very good field position, taking over the Scott City 44. Here's Rodriguez trying to get away. He was hit 3 yards back deep in the backfield and still somehow gets back to the line of scrimmage.
He lowered that shoulder and still just got out of that tackle, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. It might be the loss of a football length, but that was it. But those snaps are really coming up high right now for Gebhardt, trying to catch him and bring him back down. They're up by the helmets.
3:09 left to go here, opening quarter. Southeast of Saline on the 44, 2nd down. They're going to fake it to Rodriguez this time. Luke Gebhardt right up the middle. He scored on this play earlier. It's another big chunk to the 30, to the 20. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to score again. Luke Gebhardt, as his brother Jake sprints into the end zone, is going to celebrate with him. Another big chunk play on the quarterback read, and Luke Gebhardt makes the right decision this time, scoring from 44 yards away.
It's just crazy how those two plays are really similar. Both of them are scoring touchdowns for Southeast. Just a great recognition there by Gebhardt getting into the end zone.
Gebhardt already 73 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, as they're going to set up here for a more traditional formation on the 2-point conversion. Lots of misdirection in the backfield. Pass to the end zone. Landon Allen catches it from Gebhardt, and they get their point after back that they left after the first touchdown. 2:55 left to go. We're still in the opening quarter. Southeast of Saline leads at 14-0 here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Devin Haney, Jathan Show back here at Scott City High School. And Jathan, isn't that just like Southeast of Saline, though? Get out of the gates a little bit slow, but then you get some help. The other team fumbles on first down, and then all of a sudden 2 plays later, you're in the end zone once again. This thing can snowball on you so fast, and that's what Southeast does well. They capitalize on other teams' mistakes.
And that's just where you got to capitalize. When they give you the ball back that quick and that opportunity, that's the best time to score is when you got the momentum on your side.
Wyatt Boyd ready to kick it away once again. And this is going to be a lop kick over on the right-hand side for Southeast to cover Scott City's left-hand side, and they do a really good job, the Beavers, of returning this kick. Looked like a lineman, Carter Goodwin, with it, and the senior just kind of rumbled his way back to the 40-yard line, and he is able – boy, that thing could have been tricky the way it was bouncing. It could have been off his knee or off his thigh and a loose ball, but he scooped it right up and was able to bring it to the 40.
Yeah, but when your eyes are as big as basketballs trying to catch it, you got to run upfield. He might as well take that opportunity when you get it, especially when you're in a lineman and you're your senior year for Scott City.
That's why you're down there. You get to see that stuff. Nose of the football at the 40-yard line. Beavers with good field position here as they start out first down and 10. Last 3 minutes of the first quarter. Southeast leads at 14-0. Here's the shotgun back to Metzger. Wants to throw. Overthrows in his intended receiver out on the right-hand side. Incomplete. He was looking for Colin McDaniel out of the backfield.
Those flat passes are just always overthrown right now for Metzger. Kind of a hard time trying to find his guy on the outside.
There's a little panic there, too. He knows the fuse has been lit when he gets the football, and he doesn't have much time. He has dropped back to pass 4 times, 2 incomplete passes and 2 sacks. Second down and 10 coming up. Again, nose of the football, sitting there at the 40. Scott City still on their own side in midfield. McDaniel will come out as a solo to the right-hand side. Double wing backs again with that tight end. Here's a reverse. They go all the way back into the backfield. Obermeyer would have had to stop for a loss, and then Landon Allen is going to step up and tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Obermeyer blew up the first ball carrier, which was his job on that reverse, and then they strang it out to the near side, to the home side, and Landon Allen was there just staying in his lane, doing his job the whole darn time.
And that's what you got to do, just stay at home there. Nice job by Landon Allen, wrapping him up and not letting him get loose. And a short game for the Beavers here, long third down opportunity.
Third down and 9 after a 1-yard gain. Ball sitting at the 41 for Scott City. 3 wide receivers to the left. They're going to roll that way. Metzger looking. Now he slams on the brakes. Coming back the other way. Rodriguez chasing. Down to the second level, and Evan Nicholson gets him from behind. Boy, Nicholson came in. Him and Obermeyer were both chasing. They might have ran into each other a little bit. Obermeyer gets up limping, and Nicholson with the tackle after a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 4th down and 5.
He had all 3 linemen in one little area. Been nice to have one of them stay on that side, but they're all just trying to rush the quarterback. Just a quick little run there for Metzger. A quick gain of 3.
At their own 45, Scott City will enter punt formation once again. Michael Murray standing back deep. He hasn't had a chance yet tonight from the punts offered up by Brady Welker and the Beavers. Welker standing back with his heels on a 30. High snap once again. Welker brings it down. Heat from Obermeyer on him. And Welker's going to place this one between the 25 and the 30-yard lines. The Southeast of Saline will come out and take over at their own 27. Again, live stream video tonight on SalinaPost.com. You can hear this radio broadcast and also watch live stream video of this game on SalinaPost.com. Just go to the sports section, find a story there, and then the link within the story will allow you to view the Southeast of Saline Trojans tonight taking on Scott City, and it's all presented by the Salina Septic Service. Nemaha Central now has taken Republic County 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. Nemaha Central. First down and 10, Southeast from their own 27. Flags fly before this one even gets started. And this will be against the Trojans. Back them up 5 to the 22. False start.
A lot of flags here starting off this first quarter, even for Southeast of Saline. It's quick 4 penalties against the Trojans.
So that'll back them up to the 22. 68 seconds left to go. It's been a long first quarter, hasn't it?
It has, with a lot of punts, a lot of possession changes, and 2 touchdowns. Just a lot of incomplete passes as well. Uncharacteristic for Southeast.
3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Allen and Rodriguez in the backfield. Gebhardt on the read option again. Breaks 2 tackles at the line of scrimmage. A DB will have to arrest him here at the 34-yard line, but that is after a gain of 12. Gebhardt got back a big chunk of that yardage, as that really seems to be the play right now that Scott City's having trouble with defensively.
They sure are, and why not go back to it right after you score a touchdown twice back-to-back and just keep running up the middle until they start doing something else, so something else could open up for their offense.
Got some of that penalty yardage back. Now 2nd down and 5. Ball sitting at the 34-yard line. Here's Rodriguez. He gets into the linebacker level. There's a flag down as Matthew has the first down out to about the 42. And this will be a penalty again against Southeast of Saline. And right now it seems like all the flags that are littering the field are all against the Trojans.
Yeah, that's what it feels like as well. Just unfortunate we're always on the ones with the penalty side.
So they are going to back Southeast of Saline up here. After the penalty, looked like a hold maybe against Southeast of Saline. It'll back them up here to the 23. 2nd down and about 15 now. 28.9 seconds left here in the first quarter. We may be seeing the last play here of the opening period. 2 wide receivers to the right. Gebhardt looking left. Now he's going to get out of the pocket and run. Has Rodriguez out in front of him. Good block by Matthew, and that's going to help Luke get a first down out to the 39-yard line. A gain of 16, and that should close the quarter here by Southeast of Saline. If you're going to pick a guy to run behind, Matthew Rodriguez is not a bad option. 16 yards on that play, and that will close the first quarter with 101 yards rushing from junior quarterback Luke Gebhardt. Southeast might get another playoff here. Still 10 seconds. They're back at the line of scrimmage. From the 39, here's Gebhardt, wants to throw, slant to Murray. Murray catches it, he might house it, to the 40, to the 35, and drugged down from behind at the 33. They dropped the football, and the official right on top of it. Jathan, you take it.
Yeah, he got wrapped up as he was getting wrapped around. Lost the ball with his hands right there, so it's going to be Scott City's football on their own 34-yard line.
Scott City will take over at their own 34. When we come back, that's the end of the first quarter, as Southeast of Saline fumbles the football. Trojans lead at 14-0 here on KINA.
Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore. But just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Salina Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Salina Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salinaortho.com.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC. Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawsalina.com.
Devin Haney, Jathan Show back here at Scott City. Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering. A score from Salina Stadium Central out early on South. The Mustangs lead the Cougars 7-0 that early on in the second quarter. Here it's 14-0. Southeast of Saline, a big play, 27-yarder at the end of the quarter. Michael Murray, though, fumbled at the end of the play. And now Scott City has it at their own 34. Metzger stacks 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. They want to run away from that, and they're going to lose some yardage here. Jace Van Amberg coming in and helping Braxton Blake on the tackle for loss. And it seems like since Braxton Blake found his way on the defensive side of the ball starting at the Goodland game, Jathan, all he has done is get tackles for loss.
And that's just where, when you're on that defensive inside, he's doing a tremendous job getting in the backfield and catching that running back in the backfield for losses. Good for Southeast Saline. We're able to replace that Dalton Bunch, who does a tremendous job as well.
That'll back the Beavers back to the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 11. Metzger now with an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. Fakes to the right, comes back left. He's going to throw a lollipop to a sideline and overthrows his receiver, Welker, by about 4 yards. We keep watching the big tight end over here on this side, Gus Hawkins, 6'6", 220 pounds, and they haven't tried to throw him the ball yet.
And we were both in shock of what he did in the pregame with the one-handed catch he had. You think you just keep going to that guy because he's the tallest one on the field by far.
Early on, Southeast gave him attention when they had Luke Obermeyer in the game. Obermeyer would come out from his linebacker spot, meet him at the line of scrimmage, give him a bunch of contact, and then release him after he delayed his route. We saw that in a JV game. Obermeyer was doing that against one of the Abilene receivers a couple of weeks ago on a Monday night. Here's Metzger now rolling out to the right-hand side. He's going to throw it in the middle of the field. This one bobbled around, and it's going to fall incomplete. Daniel Kerr in there on coverage for Southeast of Saline, and Scott City can't do anything with the turnover. They're going to have to punt it back, at least line up in punt formation with Michael Murray back deep for Southeast.
Nice job by Daniel Kerr, though, realizing where he was at and just stayed right on the back of that guy so he wouldn't get a pass interference call and put his hands right where the ball was at. Just tremendous job by Kerr defending that passway.
Welker back in punt formation once again. He's standing at his own 20-yard line. Murray back between his 25 and 30. Clayton Meyer with some token pressure, but this punt is a good one, but not a good bounce for Scott Cities. It's going to roll dead. It bounced at the 35 and rolled down at the 34. Not much of an advantage there on the roll for the Beavers. So Southeast will get it back here. Nobody hurt after that turnover. May have cost him a touchdown, though, on that drive. They get it back. 10:56 left to go here in the second at their own 34.
Michael Murray's still back out there. Just maybe give him another opportunity, another chance. Let him get a feel of this game here. Get him up here for the rest of the season.
Here's Gebhardt. Hands it off. Rodriguez on the run. Coming to the outside. Stiff arms a guy. And Rodriguez is going to be hammered down at about the 35. The head official on this play, Jathan, he's going to call a face mask maybe on Matthew Rodriguez because when he stiff-armed, it was to the side of the defender's helmet. Matthew never got into the face mask. They're going to call a hold. I was just about ready to get on my soapbox there, but now I don't have to. How's that?
Well, it was good that you got worked up and ready to go for it.
You felt me getting worked up there, didn't you?
Yeah.
But it was a good stiff arm.
But, it's still another flag against Southeast.
Yeah, it is.
And just nothing's going their way on the flag or penalty-wise, and everything's going for the Beavers.
Back to the 25 now after that 10-yard penalty. It is going to be 1st down and 20. 2 wide receivers on the short side of the field to the right. Gebhardt will go away from them, go out to Murray on a little hook route. Murray slips the tackle, now looking for some space. Scott City's there to take him down just past the 40 at about the 41, and that is the electricity that Michael Murray brings to your offense. That is a lightning fast 16 yards.
That sure was, and just the way he got upfield and keep just feeling how this game's going to fill out for him. Just nice to see him back out in the field for Southeast. Just another opportunity for Jake Gebhardt, and Luke to have somebody help out Jake on the receiver side.
2 catches, 43. Yeah, Jake Gebhardt was really busy last week with 13 catches, over 130 yards. 2nd down and 4. Here's the give to Rodriguez. He runs into a wall. Now he bounces out. He's still into the second level. Still running on his feet across midfield and brought down at the 46. Wow, a 13-yard carry by Matthew Rodriguez. He didn't have anything initially, but then able to bounce it out and get more.
That cut he had going to the left side, and then another cut going further left. I mean, the sod came up about as tall as he was as he was kicking up grass there.
Coach Gebhardt told us in the pregame nobody's going to get lower than Matthew Rodriguez. He has 30 yards now on 4 carries. Gebhardt rolling out to the right, looking to throw, finds Jake for the first time at the 40-yard line. That's his first catch of the night, and it will go for a gain of 7 yards. So 3 different receivers catching footballs tonight from Luke Gebhardt. That's the first one for twin brother Jake, and it goes for 7. To the 40-yard line now, southeast of Saline goes. 2nd down and 3. Trojans leading with 9:21 left to go before halftime, 14-0. Here's Luke Gebhardt, read option. This time Scott City, I don't know that they read it well, but they were just in the way enough to stop Luke for a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, they plugged up that line there, not letting Luke get to that middle. They did a nice job stopping that play.
6 carries, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns so far for Luke Gebhardt in this game. He had 100 yards in the first quarter. 3rd down and 2 from the 39. Wyatt Boyd goes in motion. Now everybody pauses. They're going to look to the sideline. Gebhardt now telling his offensive line what the mix is. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to snap it back. Rodriguez straight ahead. Now he bounces to the outside in a tussle with the lineman, and he gets away and gets first down yardage. Boy, it looked like a stop on the play that time by Carter Gooden, but Matthew Rodriguez just kept those legs moving, was able to get out of Gooden's grasp and take it to the 35.
Just a nice run there, a hard run there for Matthew, as he always does. Just getting out to the outside, enough for the first down for Southeast, but just finding those few extra yards. I mean, these guys just got to continue to tackle Rodriguez as they're finding out it's hard to do with one person.
New player on the offensive line. It's Nathan Weller for southeast of Saline at left guard. Here's a flag on the sweep. Rodriguez going to the left-hand side. And there's another flag coming in now. And we'll have to sort all this out as Rodriguez went to the left-hand side, took a couple of hits, and got about a 5-yard gain, but we'll have to check all the laundry. Nathan Weller, one of those guys, along with Rutherford that's in there. We haven't seen a lot of this year, but now coming in, contributing here in this final game of the regular season. Wade Rutherford playing on the right-hand side, along with Mac Chambers. Evan Nicholson now back in. Holding by southeast of Saline. We'll back them to the 47.
And also a personal foul penalty, so that's where those 15 yards is coming out.
Okay, I missed that. Thank you. So nonetheless, back to the 47.
Penalty still against Southeast.
First down and a mile here. First down and about 21. They're going to screen it out to Murray. He's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he's going to break a tackle and get away. Down the left-hand sideline, the track meet is over at the 30. 20, 10, 5. Michael Murray tips his head at the goal line like he's breaking the string, and he's going to score on a 1st and 21 from the 47. Again, that's the electric that he brings.
Yeah, just an incredible run there, bringing that tackle in the backfield and then finding the outside, but just tremendous job even on the other wide receivers and linemen getting over the outside, getting the block for Michael Murray to free up and get another Trojan touchdown. 3
catches, 90 yards already from Michael Murray in his return to the Trojan lineup. See what Southeast wants to do here on the conversion, leading 20-0. They're going to line up traditional formation. Snap back to Gebhardt, couple of fake handoffs, back of the end zone. There's Murray wide open. Throw was a little bit high, but Michael able to bring it down, and another 2 points for southeast of Saline. 7:29 left to play here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline strikes again, and they lead at 22-0 here on KINA.
When it comes to making plans for next year, it's time to think new for 22. Take advantage of the season's best pricing on model year 2022 Case IH equipment from Can-Equip. Choose from Case IH seeders, tillage tools, and more. Plus 5 years of an AFS Connect subscription with purchase on select equipment. Visit Can-Equip in Salina, your Case IH Red Zone sponsor.
Can-Equip you. You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Check out the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Salina Central leads South 7-0. Colby over Goodland 6-0. Also, Colby, just get a couple updates. Good job, Sam. Colby over Goodland, 12-0. Salina Central over Salina South, 14-0. Couple updates there from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Thank you very much, Sam Pretty, doing the job back at Studio Central for us tonight. Here at Southeast of Saline, up 22-0 over Scott City. Wyatt Boyd ready to kick it off once again. This time he will go as we view it from the home stands from left to right. Boyd's kick angling over to the left. Will be taken by Scott City at the 15, out to the 20, 25, 30, still looking for more yardage. And the line of scrimmage for the Beavers to start here will be at their own 34, and a late flag comes in. A very late flag.
A very late flag. Got thrown very far, too. And then this field is getting kind of slippery here. The dude's starting to settle on the grass, and even on the Wyatt Boyd's kick right there, he slipped and fell on the turf here.
We have an illegal block in the back against the Beavers. That will take Scott City back and start them deeper in their own territory. Keep it tuned here at halftime. We'll catch the thoughts of Mitch Gebhardt as he goes into the locker room. We'll also have scores from you on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard.
Here's another score. Andale 16, Wichita Collegiate 0.
Okay. Andale right now is a machine. They have been for some time. From the 21, here's Scott City. Another offensive possession here for the Beavers. They trail it by 3 touchdowns. Inside handoff, blown up by Rodriguez. We saw Matthew that time, Jathan, just come to the line of scrimmage. It's almost like he knows the play. He's in their huddle, and he was able to stick his nose in there and throw that play for another loss.
Yeah, when you're able to take off a lineman just like that, where that play is going to go at, I mean, that's just great recognition there for Matthew Rodriguez, filling up that gap there, letting somebody else help out, too, for the tackle.
Back now just outside of the 20-yard line. That gets the clock moving once again. 6:52 left to play here in this second quarter. 2 wide receivers to each side as they go for a total of 4. Welker the lone setback in the backfield. Here comes another blitz. Rodriguez to the outside. They're going to try to run it to that side, and there is Braxton Blake again. We're just going to start calling him Mr. TFL, tackle for loss. Braxton Blake, this one back at the 18-yard line, and a loss of 3.
Southeast Saline defense, even with the Dawson Adams, unfortunately out for this game, just doing a tremendous job still remaining that hard-nosed defense that Southeast Saline's been putting up all season long.
Tracer Chapman on that carry, lost 3 yards. 3rd down and 14 now. Back at the 18-yard line is Scott City. Again, 4 wide receivers. Now they go 5 with an empty backfield. It's going to be picked off. Caden Isaacson, 2 Trojans in front of him. He steps over a would-be tackler, and he's going to take this one into the end zone. From the 25-yard line, Caden Isaacson got the pick on a deflection and was able to turn a couple of his defensive linemen into great blockers, and Isaacson with a pick 6.
Yeah, I think that even Evan Nicholson or Jasper McDowell got the hand on and got the tip, but just even a harder concentration for Caden Isaacson getting that interception and running back for a pick 6. Just a great momentum change. And just nice to see the defense give some points up on the board as well as they've been playing all year long.
They don't give up any points. Now they're going to start scoring points. How scary is that? So Caden Isaacson puts 6 on the board. Two-point conversion attempt here by Southeast. Gebhardt still holding as he rolls out. He comes back against the grain to Michael Murray, and Michael will jump and bring it in. 30-0. Southeast of Saline outrolling. Still 5:57 left to play here in the second quarter. Another break here on KINA.
Experience a new kind of clean with Sage Select. With the help of AI, Sage is creating an exciting new line that will revolutionize how you clean in a fun, fresh way. Combining our team's knowledge and your input, Sage is able to create art and animation expressing the joy of clean, as with Mom's Streak-Free Glass Clean or the amazing Green Bowl Clean. Have some fun and experience a new clean at SageSelects.com or call us at 785-309-1919.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
A takeaway by Southeast of Saline's defense. It came off of a deflection. Caden Isaacson there, brought it in, returned it for 6. The 2 points good. Luke Gebhardt again on the 2-point conversion pass to Michael Murray for the second consecutive time. 30-0 now our score. This district, we're going to talk a lot about this at halftime, Jathan, as far as points and records and where this district shakes out. Right now, Colby, they were one of 3 teams at 2-2 coming into tonight. They are taking a big hit as we sit right now. Not only are they losing, they have lost all their points in a potential plus 21 night. They are at a negative 21. Here's the return by Scott City. And a flag on the play. May surprise you.
Looks like it'll be holding. Got a clap from Southeast Saline fans. I mean, Clayton Meyer was getting held, trying to get around that tackle, and he was just getting held. So this will be against the Beavers. Back-to-back penalties on Scott City.
So they will put him in reverse once again and back them all the way up to the 22-yard line. 5:52 left to go here in the second. It's a quarter where Southeast of Saline has exploded. Saw them last week in the third quarter, scored 29 points against Smoky Valley after having just 16 points in the first half. Welker goes in motion. They're going to pitch it out. They try to give him a head start here on the run, and it's going to work as he comes across the 25 and will end up at about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6 for Brady Welker, and that is his longest run of the night. He had a 6-yard carry on his first carry of the game, and now a 6-yard carry there, and that is the second longest offensive play for Scott City tonight.
Devin, and we were talking about what the defensive line's going to be like. They got Jasper McNally on the outside now, Eli Jackson on the middle, switching with Evan Nicholson.
That's terrifying. Here's a give going back the other way, and there is said Evan Nicholson making a stop. Matthew Rodriguez gets up from the bottom of the pile. Nicholson there on top, and that goes for little to nothing for Scott City. Cesar Peregrino on the carry. 3 carries, 8 yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 5 for Scott City. 3 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Boyd, Gebhardt, and Kerr all over here on coverage. Here comes Rodriguez on the blitz. Metzger sees him. He goes away from him, has the first down. And Metzger's going to make it all the way to the 40-yard line before he's escorted out of bounds by Jake Gebhardt. And that's a big 12-yard run by Metzger. It may have been in fear, but he was able to get out of there and get the first down as he was running away from Matthew Rodriguez.
Yeah, running away, and that's where Jason Van Amberger just couldn't quite get out the opportunity as he was out defending their wide receiver. But he still got to help out with Jake Gebhardt pushing him out of bounds.
4:35 left to go. Clock stopped now after the run went out of bounds. Football setting at the Scott City 40-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion. They want to come out to that big tight end we've been talking about. That's his first catch of the night at the 45. He breaks 2 tackles, now 3 tackles. He's into Trojan territory, still running, and brought down at the 31-yard line. Gus Hawkins was able to break all those tackles and get all the way to the 31. And now a flag on the play. Maybe a late hit against Southeast. We'll have to sort it out.
Either late hit or a dead ball foul there, as we had a lineman or somebody pick up the ball and just threw it at the referee, so I'm not sure what they're going to call here.
People were piling on there. There may have been a couple of guys coming in late on the defense. But you have to ask yourself, why do they not use Gus Hawkins more often? First completion of the game for Scott City, and it goes for 29 yards. And that is going to put Scott City deep into Southeast of Saline territory and into the red zone at the 18-yard line. So 29 yards on the pitch and catch out to Hawkins, and then another 15 on top of it. Scott City knocking on the door at the 18-yard line. One back in the backfield. They're going to pitch it out to Welker. He's on the right-hand side looking for space. He's inside the 15 to the 14. Gain of 4 on the play.
Quick play there, quick gain of 4 for the Beavers, just where Sally Saline landed. Allen's waiting for the tackle. The Lions just having a hard time getting upfield against the O-line right now for Scott City.
2nd and 6 coming up here for Scott City. Football sitting at the 14-yard line. Remember, it has been since the second quarter of the Ellsworth game in week number 3 that this Trojan defense has been scored upon. Scott City knocking on the door here. 2nd down and 6. They go to Welker, and Jasper McDowell denies his entry for positive yardage. Thrown for no gain on the play.
And Welker is just getting up slow as he got tackled hard, brought down hard by Jasper McDowell, clogging up that middle line as Southeast Saline went back to the original starting line on the defensive line.
Still 14-yard line, 3rd down and 6 now coming up for Scott City. You want to think that they're in 4-down territory here, but they do have the ability to kick. So that is something to keep an eye on. They send Hawkins back out to the left-hand side. Wyatt Boyd out here to try to cover him up. Might be a jump ball to the end zone. Metzger takes the snap, and they're going to blow this one dead. Scott City is going to take a timeout. We'll step away, 30 seconds. Back with a 3rd down and 6 for Scott City. They're in the red zone against Southeast of Saline's defense here on KINA.
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braces, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Welcome back, Scott City. Jathan Show is on the field. Devin Haney here in the booth. Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering. Missing our wingman tonight, Russ Kossel. He is under the weather back at home. He's going to set this one out, be back with us next week as we will be at home for a playoff game against the Marysville Bulldogs.
Get better, Russ. Miss you out here.
It's been 18 quarters coming into this game. If you count the first quarter of this game, 19 quarters since Southeast of Saline has been scored upon. Trojans trying to keep that streak intact. The top-rated defense in Class 3A in the state of Kansas. 3rd down and 6. Metzger back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He's going to tuck it and run, and he is sacked. Flipped head over heels, Evan Nicholson and Matthew Rodriguez. And Nicholson is really stepping up on that defensive line tonight.
Yeah, he's doing a tremendous job there by Evan Nicholson, wrapping him up, but then Matthew Rodriguez coming out and helping out. Loss of 5 on the play or 4 on the play. Just a tremendous job there for Southeast Saline D-line stepping up in this crucial situation.
It's the 3rd sack for Southeast of Saline. We keep saying Evan Nicholson's name on defense, Jathan. Remember, he's not an original starter on this defensive line. He was a 2-deep backup guy, but he's in there playing because of Dalton Bunch and Dawson Adams being out of the lineup. And he's having a whale of a night. Here's 4th down. It's 4th down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Here's a receiver getting a early start on the left-hand side for Scott City. No flag on the play. And another takedown. This might be a little bit of a gain, but not much, as Braxton Blake is in there to turn the Beavers away, and Southeast of Saline still has yet to yield any points.
Just a tremendous job there. That's having that Scott City call that timeout almost felt like it was more of a benefit for Southeast, the way to settle themselves out, because with they had a big mixed match, I think, with that 66 over there having a heck of a well day. He could have gone up easily against Wyatt Boyd, but they switched it up with Jake Gebhardt.
Metzger now 6 carries, 0 yards. Southeast of Saline gets it back at their own 18. 1st down and 10. Gebhardt out to Murray. It's on the left-hand side. Murray, if he breaks that tackle, he can cash another one, but he does not. Scott City does a good job holding on and keeps it to a gain of 2.
Covered up well by Avery Knoll for Scott City against Michael Murray. A gain of 1 on the play, short gain for Southeast, but clock's still running with 1:40 left.
Those are the football sitting at the 20-yard line. You are right. 1:38 left to go. Southeast has all timeouts remaining. They have all 3. Rodriguez and Landon Allen in tight. Luke Gebhardt rolling out, finds Jake at the 25. Jake will curl, and he is hit and set down there after a minimal gain of 6.
Once again, this field's getting pretty slippery. Gebhardt tried to cut up field. Jake did, but his footing came out underneath him and still got hit pretty hard there.
Yeah, pretty good hit by Scott City out here on this edge as well. 3rd down and 3. Now for Southeast of Saline. Football sitting at the 26-yard line. Clock continuing to run, now inside of a minute. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Luke Gebhardt will roll that way. Being chased from behind. Gebhardt pauses a couple times. Now he's going to set up and throw. Bomb going down the left-hand side. Rodriguez is his target. Matthew comes down with the football, or didn't he? Scott City has the football. This might be an interception. If it is a pick, it'll be just the third interception of the year, and they're going to say incomplete. Boy, that was bracket coverage that time, and one of the guys that you wouldn't expect going down the sideline like that on a fly route was Matthew Rodriguez. Scott City covered it pretty well, nearly came up with the interception, but it's going to be incomplete. And now Southeast of Saline will send Obermeyer on for the punt.
Yeah, I thought surely throwing that ball that deep will be Michael Murray down there, but when you said Matthew Rodriguez, like, oh, he's got some help down there then.
Might be good field position here for Scott City on the flip. 44 seconds left. Working our way towards halftime. We'll have Mitch Gebhardt before we hit the locker rooms. Here's Obermeyer. Perfect snap again by Chambers. Here's a high spiraling kick, and it's going to be trouble. Scott City mishandles it. There's a Southeast of Saline player down there, but he took one of the return men for the Scott City Beavers, and the ball just kind of lays it around a while until Scott City comes over and covers it up with Dylan Metzger at the 39. That is the second mishandled kick Scott City has had tonight on special teams. And it leaves the Beavers here, Jathan, with 36 seconds left to go.
And their offense just has to be in panic mode right now, as they couldn't do nothing with the good field position they had with the penalty and that long play they had, and they got nothing from it. And here they're backed up on their own 39-yard line.
First down and 10, Beavers at the 39, 36 seconds left to go. They go back to the double wing, everybody in tight except for one wide receiver, wide to the right-hand side. Here's Welker on the give, McDowell on the tackle, 1 yard on the play. So far, Brady Welker, 10 carries, 21 yards. Line of scrimmage now at the 40. Scott City not interested in stopping this clock. It continues to run with 19 seconds left. They don't have to run another play. Looks like, though, they're going to try as they come back to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers to the right. Big tight end Gus Hawkins to the left. He is going to be checked at the line of scrimmage by Obermeyer. Here's the screen. Out to the right. It's a sacrificial play as Landon Allen comes up and just hammers Cesar Peregrino. And that will be the last play of the quarter. So Peregrino catches it for no yards on the play. And that brings us to halftime. We await the presence of Mitch Gebhardt as his team leads 30-0 going to the locker room here at the halftime break. Mitch Gebhardt coming to visit with Jathan Show. It's courtesy of Frisbee Construction. Don't forget then when we come back, we'll have stats from the first half. We'll also have a check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, and we'll talk you through some of the district stuff going on around Southeast of Saline. Of course, their positioning does not matter as they are locked in. They are the district champions in district number 6, Class 3A. 30-0, Southeast of Saline. They lead it. Let's go down on the field. Here is, eventually, Coach.
Down here with Coach Gebhardt. And, Coach, what are your thoughts on that first half? Just a good first half, both offensive, defensive side, and special teams doing a tremendous job, too.
Yeah, I thought we were a little sloppy in a lot of facets there. And, the penalties are tough, too, and we need to clean some of that up. But, yeah, I thought our defense, it's 0 up there, so our defense is playing pretty well. We got some big plays on offense, and, it's 30-0, so you got to be a little bit happy with that. But I thought we were a little bit sloppy.
And it's just – but then when you play sloppy and then you got those penalties come up, it's just kind of hard to get going once again. But your guys really fought back and got that really good fourth down and stop.
Yeah, and we did. They got to play there and move the ball down the field, and and for them to play 4 downs there and get them stopped on that drive was good.
Well, Coach, we'll see you in the second half.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, very good. On the field, Jathan Show, the interview with Mitch Gebhardt brought to you by Frisbee Construction as we are ready for halftime. It's brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. When we come back, we'll go over stats from the first half, also go over some scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard, talk more about this first half, and we'll also get you all ready here for the third quarter. Halftime is here, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Southeast of Saline leads Scott City 30-0 as you listen to it right here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top-quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Saline Septic Services provides septic services including septic tank installation, inspection, and repair. In addition to professional septic tank services, we also provide portable restroom rentals. We have many options available, including his and hers portable restrooms and hand washing sinks. Setup, service, and removal are all part of our rentals. Whether you project a long-term construction job or a family gathering, we guarantee a clean porta potty. Find us today at SalineSepticService.com, proudly supporting the southeast of Saline Trojans.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
Exit 14 Restaurant in Gypsum, Kansas is cooking up something amazing today. Whether you want to order from our menu or try one of our delicious daily specials, try one of their scrumptious desserts. Exit 14 is open for lunch Tuesday through Saturday 11 to 2 and 5 to 9 Thursday through Saturday. Head out to try Prime Rib Night last Saturday of the month and open for Chicken Dinner Day on the first Sunday of the month. Exit 14, 512 Maple in Gypsum, Kansas. Great people, great food, good time.
It is third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for rural property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here at Scott City Community High School, Devin Haney along with Jathan Show as we work through the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report, compiling stats now from the first half of this contest. And Jathan, when you look at the way this first half went, it was, we talked about it a little bit. It was kind of like two heavyweight sluggers just kind of going at it and doing battle here. And Southeast it's like they need to see a crack in your foundation. They need to see a chink in your armor. I don't know how many other cliches I can throw out there, but maybe for you, we'll say they need to see the crabgrass in your lawn. But when they see that one negativity and that one thing, and for Scott City it was a turnover, it was a fumble, then all of a sudden it's like game on and just everything breaks out.
But that's where Saline, just a good team, they capitalize on it. That's what good teams need to do, is capitalize on those opportunities that are just handed to them. And then when you get that defensive pick six, just an incredible play for Evan Nicholson tipping the ball, or Jasper McDowell, one of those, and then having Caden Isaacson run it back just helps out the flow of the game so much for Southeast just to finish that second half.
When you look at stats from the first half, it is one-sided for Southeast of Saline, as it usually is. Let's go first over to Scott City. They are 2 of 6 throwing the football, just 29 yards. That all came really on one play to the tight end. That was Gus Hawkins. Rushing the football, Brady Welker, the leading rusher. He had 10 carries, 21 yards. Cesar Peregrino had 3 carries for 8 yards. Dylan Metzger, the quarterback, 6 carries for 0 yards. And Tracer Chapman, 1 carry, losing 3 yards. Scott City, 26 yards rushing, 29 yards passing, 55 total yards in the first half. For Southeast of Saline, Luke Gebhardt, 8 of 12 throwing the football. We saw him start out 1 of 4 and really kind of forcing the football down the field, Jathan. It looked like they were looking for a big play early on. Maybe the Murray effect with Michael being back had a little bit to do with that. One of the deep shots, though, was intended for Jake Gebhardt. And early on, it just seemed like that big play wasn't there. But one play that was there was the quarterback run.
And it sure was. And just trying to force something where you can see Sally Saline do so well early on was get those deep ball passes. But Now the Southeast Saline's kind of changed up their offense to that short game, but they need to run up the middle right down their throats. It's just incredible to see what Gebhardt can do, even on running the ball and on throwing the ball.
Finalize the stats here for Southeast of Saline. Gebhardt 8 of 12 throwing the football, 114 passing yards and a touchdown to Michael Murray. Murray's 47-yard touchdown down the left-hand side lands him with 4 catches, 92 yards at halftime. Also, Landon Allen, a couple of catches, 9 yards. Jake Gebhardt, 2 catches, 13 yards. Luke Gebhardt rushing the football, 6 carries, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matthew Rodriguez, 5 carries, 34 yards in that first half of action, where it finds Southeast of Saline with 136 yards rushing, 114 yards passing, for a total of 250 yards of total offense. Wyatt Boyd had a fumble recovery. Michael Murray had a fumble for Southeast of Saline's lone turnover in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, we had the interception by Caden Isaacson for a pick 6 for Southeast of Saline. Southeast scored with 9:24 left to go in the first quarter. That was the first one of the game. Luke Gebhardt's 32-yard touchdown run. Then the fumble by Scott City that we talked about. About 7 minutes later, 2:55 left to go in a 2-play drive. Luke Gebhardt again on that quarterback keeper, 44-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion there was good. It missed after the first touchdown, and Southeast of Saline led 14-0. Then in the second quarter, 7:29 left to go. Luke Gebhardt to Michael Murray, 47 yards. 2-point conversion also to Murray, made it 22-0. 5:57 left to go was the Isaacson interception, the pick 6, and the 2-point conversion. Again, Gebhardt to Michael Murray made it 30-0, and that is where we stand here at halftime. Southeast of Saline's defense has right now continued their run of 20 consecutive quarters without giving up any points. We go all the way back to week number 3 against the Ellsworth Bearcats in the second quarter, where they gave up a touchdown the last time this defense was scored on. 30-0. We're at halftime. The Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report continues on after this. We'll check some scores from around the area after this on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Maybe you don't play quarterback or make the highlight reel. Maybe you're not a high school athlete anymore, but just like an athlete, you can get first-class orthopedic care from Saline Ortho. Their doctors and staff strive to get you back to an injury-free, pain-free life as quickly as possible. Saline Ortho has a doctor on call 24/7 for all orthopedic injuries. So next time you're injured, trust the experts at Saline Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future. See them online at salineortho.com.
Frisbee Construction is a service organization for the commercial grain industry dedicated to giving you the best in planning, the best in quality, and the best of workmanship, and overall the best value for your dollar since 1949. Frisbee Construction specializes in new construction as well as remodel and repair of grain handling facilities throughout the Midwest. Frisbee Construction Company in Gypsum has emergency crews available as needed. For more information, go to frisbeeinc.com.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Assaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure all our Trojans are fueled up for the big game. Whether you're on the field or in the stands, start with a full tank of gas for your car or your belly. Get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough stamina to get that Trojan win. Assaria Oil and Hardware, located in Assaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
Kansas Wesleyan University offers great nursing education options with a BS major in nursing and an RN to BSN program. KWU recently opened a brand new $5 million nursing education center that features state-of-the-art simulation rooms and next-generation classroom equipment designed to take the educational experience to the next level. Wonderful scholarships and opportunities to gain experience are available. Want to know more? Check out kwu.edu/nursing today. That's kwu.edu/nursing.
Generations of confidence, relationships for life. Since established in business in 1887, the Bank of Tuscany has built its reputation on personal service and community promotion. Family owned and locally operated in communities of Tuscany, Lincoln, Saline, and Lynchburg. The Bank of Tuscany strives to provide customers with a competitive array of loan and deposit products that aid in their financial success. Visit us today, see why so many people have helped the Bank of Tuscan become one of the strongest banks in Kansas. Bank of Tuscan, member FDIC.
We're growing your way. We're the Bank of Tuscan.
Roselawn Memorial Park would like to send best wishes to the Southeast of Saline football team. Go get 'em, Trojans. For the services they offer, visit RoselawnSalina.com.
Back here at Scott City Community High School, Devin Haney, Jathan Show, Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Jathan, I got a good one here for you, and this isn't really a score that we would care about or anything. It's an interesting score. Hayes tonight playing Wichita Northwest. Hayes trailed 20-0 with 2:17 left in the first quarter to Northwest. Hayes now leads at halftime 33-27. You talk about just flipping a game around after trailing 20-0. Hayes outscores Wichita Northwest 33-7 to go into the locker room at halftime.
That's not a halftime adjustment. That's the first quarter adjustment and getting in their face, I'd say. But another score that's interesting is Inman over Smith Center 16-8 at half. But then Concordia's down 8-20 against Chapman. Interesting for his Sally Saline fans. That's who possibly meet up later on against after these next games.
So you just talked about Inman giving up some points, and I have to go back now because Inman had the top scoring defense in the state of Kansas, all classes coming into tonight. They were number one. Class 1A Inman had allowed 3 points. So they've given up 8 tonight so far to Smith Center, so they've still given up only 11 points. They've given up one less point than Southeast of Saline. Now, I realize they're 1A. We're talking about defense in the state, all classes of who's given up the least amount of points. Right now it's Inman with 11, Southeast of Saline with 12. So that is interesting. Thank you for that, Jathan.
Yeah, it sure is interesting. Even Inman pretty close. I know a few guys down there. Just interesting to see how Inman does, especially against Smith Center, just that powerhouse that they've always been in the past.
Other scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard as we're at halftime. Minneapolis and Ellsworth, a couple NCAA schools, they're tied up at break, 12-12. Hoisington, the Cardinals, and Beloit, they're hooking up for a district title in Class 2A. In the third quarter, Hoisington leading Beloit 7-0. Another score, as you hit on, Chapman leading Concordia 20-8. Not only is that for second place in District 5 in Class 3A, it's also for the North Central Kansas League title. Salina Central leads Salina South at halftime, 21-0. When you look at points coming into tonight and what this district behind Southeast of Saline has to do, Colby came in. They were at 2-2, Russell at 2-2, Scott City at 2-2. But the points were drastically different. Colby at a +7 with Russell at a -4, and also Scott City at a -4. Obviously, Scott City not helping themselves here. They are now going to go to 2-3 probably with a -25. So they may still fall in to that fourth position. That would put them against Riley County in the first round.
What would you like to call that game? With these two colors of Riley County and Scott City, it'd be quite the uniform change.
You know those things that you had to wear in elementary school in gym class where they just kind of throw them on top? They're like little red net things, and everybody hated them. They didn't ever fit right. It just made you look ridiculous. That's what they should do to one of these teams
they should,
when they play each other.
Somebody wear the red caps on the defensive side the first time on the helmets. See what happens.
Yeah, there you go. So a lot of scores being tossed around right now. Of course, Andale and Wichita Collegiate doing battle. Last check we got on that. Andale was leading over Collegiate. That could be a couple of teams that Southeast of Saline could tangle with in the future. But we do know that next Friday night, Southeast of Saline will be at home. They will take on the Marysville Bulldogs, who Marysville, the fourth-ranked team out of the 6 in District 5, Class 3A. Marysville will come in. This is a team we faced in the playoffs last year, and they will come into Southeast of Saline for a home game for the Trojans. And I'm also told by Coach G, Mike Garrettson is telling me, Jathan, and this is important for you and I, he's saying, come hungry. Wear your purple, come cheer on the Trojans, and come hungry because the Southeast of Saline baseball team is putting together quite the pregame, and it involves chili, and cinnamon rolls before the game next Friday night.
You can't go wrong with that.
No. It's all courtesy of the baseball team and the baseball moms for Southeast of Saline. So come hungry next week. Southeast will be at home against the Marysville Bulldogs for the first round of the playoffs.
Not sure if they'll do it this year, but I remember a couple years ago they used to have a buffet of chili. Like you could decide which type of chili you want and what all you wanted. I just want a hamburger barrage of stuff. Like you have your hamburger, then you have like your Big Mac sauce, then you have your onions, your lettuce or pickles, whatever you want. Just have a buffet and make your own hamburger. I wanted that for my birthday. My wife was like, no, we're not having that.
Well, you know what? You should have asked me. I would have made it happen.
I got to know the person to ask then.
Wives are good to be realistic. Friends are not. I would have made that happen for you. I'm not realistic. Here it's 30-0. Jathan, when you look at the score, obviously if you're Southeast of Saline, the defensive side of the ball, you want to keep that goose egg on the scoreboard. That's been the goal all the way throughout. You never want to give up any points. The string they have going right now is incredible. You want to keep that going through the end of the regular season. What else are your new image audio keys to success here in the second half?
Just staying home into where you're going at and just do your job as you're assigned for. I mean, the position you're at and just know where you're going and know what you're doing. Just finish this game out strong and healthy as well. Just be incredible for Southeast Saline. Finish up this season with another victory.
Of course, Southeast of Saline deferred to start this game. That means they will start the second half with the football. So they are just about ready to go here. Glad you could join us for Southeast of Saline Trojan football here on the road. It's courtesy of our friends at Salina Septic Service. As you can see, live stream video on SalinaPost.com. Brian Dennett also does a really, really good job with that. He does things I wouldn't even think about doing. He talks about things that I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad you're here. Here is end-over-end kick from Scott City. It's going to be taken by Wyatt Boyd at the 23. Makes his way out to the 30 to the 35, and will be brought down at the 37-yard line. So Southeast of Saline will start out there. They will try to put together a drive here and add on to their 30-0 score in the third quarter. Don't forget, after the contest tonight, we'll have the Kansas Information Network high school football scoreboard show, scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas for a full hour, 10 until 11 o'clock. It's all brought to you by Home Automotive Centers in Abilene and Salina, and also Salina Surgical Hospital. First down and 10 from the 37. Southeast of Saline will hand it off. Nope, they'll fake it to Matthew Rodriguez. Here's Luke Gebhardt straight up the gut. He'll get 5 on first down, and right back to what has been their bread and butter play of this game.
Yeah, you might as well start out was working so well. See how they're going to – Scott City's going to change up their defense trying to stop that. But like we said, it just opens up something else where hand off to Matthew Rodriguez where they're going to bite for that up-the-middle run.
Out to the 42-yard line goes Southeast of Saline. Gebhardt now rolling right on second down. Throws one over the top of the coverage to Jake Gebhardt. There's a flag on the play. Jake comes down with it at the 30, and then he barrel rolls his way to the 28. Jake Gebhardt was hand fighting with the defensive back. The back judge threw the flag coming in. Gebhardt clapping as he walks away. Jake, I think, got defensive pass interference out of the Scott City defense and made the catch.
Just an incredible concentration there by Jake Gebhardt. And I believe he had one like that last week, too, or it might have been a couple weeks ago, too, but just a tremendous job there fighting through that pass interference call. It's obviously going to get declined, and big yard gain for Southeast here.
You just talk about the trust, though. I mean, I know they're twin brothers. That's something that I don't know what they're dealing with there. But, man, you just talk about the trust in that for Luke to put that football up there, and Jake coming down with a 31-yard pitch and catch, fighting off defensive pass interference. 44 yards now on the night. Here is Landon Allen on the end around. He's zigzagging his way down to the 21-yard line on a gain of 6. His first carry. Landon Allen, that's his first carry in a while. It may be of the season. I think he had a couple early on, but he does not carry the ball often.
Just a great pitch there, right to Landon Allen. Almost consider that pass because it was a forward pass there from Gebhardt.
Here's Gebhardt now. Luke rolling out to the left. Has a defender chasing him. He's going to throw it to the end zone. On the run, it just overthrows his intended receiver back there. It looked like maybe Michael Murray, No, it's not. Who is that? Wyatt Boyd, maybe? Jersey's all scrunched up. Jathan, you might have to help me out on that one.
Yeah, it was Wyatt Boyd.
Okay.
They're getting called out.
So Wyatt Boyd coming back after the incomplete pass. Somebody answer the phone. 3rd down and 4. Southeast of Saline, ball sitting at the 21. Gebhardt, long count. Looks over his offense. Maybe wanted to throw out to the left-hand side, but he's going to keep it and run, and not much there for Luke Gebhardt. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage on that carry.
Short little loss there by Gebhardt. Kind of not sure what they're planning on doing here, as they were both kind of tossing up their arms on who everybody should be at, but just unfortunate for Southeast 4th down conversion here. 4th and 6 looks like.
So Southeast looking over towards that sideline, looking like they're going to go for it. And they will. Boyd will come out to the right-hand side. Also, Jake Gebhardt. Michael Murray by himself to the left. Luke Gebhardt wants to roll out, has Landon Allen underneath. He gets it to Landon. Landon hit early, still working his way, still getting to that sideline, and Landon Allen's going to have a 1st down. It all depends on the spot, Jathan, but I think he got it.
I believe so. It's a good 1st down, and they're already moving the marker. It's good for a Southeast Trojan 1st down, but just that determination and knowing where that flag was at, and Landon Allen fighting off a Beaver there was just incredible. And nice to see Southeast Saline get that 4th down conversion into a 1st down.
Well, he just never gave up. Now to the 15-yard line goes Southeast of Saline. Straight ahead, Rodriguez. He will get to the 10 and now to the 9 on a gain of 6. That is only his 6th carry of the night. He has 40 yards as Southeast of Saline once again enters the Can-Equip Case IH red zone. They haven't spent a lot of time in the red zone tonight. 3 big plays where they blew right through it in the first half, but they are at the 9-yard line right now where it's a 2nd down and 4. Murray again, a solo to the left. Boyd and Jake Gebhardt to the right, split out wide. Here's the fake to Rodriguez. Luke Gebhardt keeps it, 2nd level, brushes the official, and he'll walk it in on the left-hand side. 3rd rushing touchdown of the night, and it comes to Jake Gebhardt this time from 15 yards away.
Just a great screenplay there by the referee, standing in his way, not letting that Evan Fry get in the way, but Gebhardt just realizing that is part of the play, and that's where they're going to run off of the brush him off. But nice job for Southeast starting their first 3rd quarter drive with the touchdown.
It's exactly what you want to do if you're the Trojans. They come out and put another 6 on the board, and they're looking for 2. Traditional formation here for Southeast of Saline. Everyone looking over to the sideline. Now Luke Gebhardt has the play. Expecting the shotgun from Braxton Blake. He'll get it. A couple of fake handoffs. Hit in the backfield. Throws one towards the end zone. Bobbled and cannot make the completion. About the 2-yard line was Michael Murray. But Southeast of Saline, they put up another one. This time Luke Gebhardt on the ground for the 3rd time. And Southeast Trojans lead it with 9:18 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's 36-0 on KINA.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump, Todd Riley, and Timothy Hawks, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Luke Gebhardt has 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. He has 10 rushing touchdowns now on the season to go along with an incredible 18 passing touchdowns. So he has already accounted for, in some part, 28 touchdowns. Here's the kick by Wyatt Boyd. It's a high end-over-end kick that will come down between the 20 and 25. Peregrino will take it for Scott City, and he is absolutely decleated by Caden Isaacson at the 32. What a hit by the junior linebacker on special teams.
You just kind of expect that out of what this special teams does. It just stays in their lanes and guards them up the middle. But then when you have just like that finishing up the strong, and those guys don't want to run up the middle anymore.
Some of the guys coming out on defense, Cameron Whitty, Daniel Kerr, along with Wyatt Boyd, Jake Gebhardt. Those are your defensive backs. They'll be playing around Matthew Rodriguez, Caden Isaacson, Landon Allen, Luke Obermeyer on the edges, Braxton Blake, Jasper McDowell, Evan Nicholson are your three up front. Scott City wants to go three wide receivers on the left-hand side from their own 32. First down and 10. Metzger rolling out to the left. Rodriguez comes up to shadow him. He's going to stop, complete the pass at the 40. And Evan Fry, the junior, comes up to make the snag. It's a gain of 7 yards. First catch of the night for Evan Fry.
Scott City just got to keep doing that for their own benefit. But Southeast Saline still getting in the backfield, causing pressure against this O-line for Scott City.
It was almost on that play. If Metzger would have rolled out any more, he would have been paid a visit by Rodriguez. Rodriguez was setting the edge there, trying to force him back inside. Good play there by Metzger. Here comes Metzger now wanting to go the other way, and he will be sacked and taken down for a loss of 5 yards. You can name whoever you want on this play. It's Blake, it's McDowell, and also Obermeyer in there on the action. 4th sack of the night for Southeast of Saline's defense.
Southeast just doing a tremendous job sniffing that out. Get him on the back side as they're trying to rush out to the right side, and they're still able to catch him. Just tremendous job there by the line.
8:05 left to go here, third quarter. 36-0, Southeast of Saline leading. They've already clinched the district championship. Out to the left comes the big tight end, Gus Hawkins. Obermeyer looking at him. He's not going to come out to meet him, though. He'll let Jake Gebhardt get him. Hawkins wants to run the slat. Now Obermeyer drops off. Metzger in trouble again, and he cannot get away from Jasper McDowell. Boy, Metzger got away from Rodriguez initially, but then as he turned and looked upfield, he saw nothing but a 7 and a 4 in front of him, and that was big Jasper McDowell on the quarterback sack, the 5th of the night for Southeast.
Yeah, tremendous job there by Matthew, getting him to slow down and finish off by Jasper. That's what the defense does here for Southeast Saline. They help out each other on that D line, and when somebody hits them, everybody else starts wrapping them up.
Brady Welker in punt formation, back deep is going to be Michael Murray. Boy, almost a block by Clayton Meyer that time. Murray's going to pick it up, bobbled it a bit at the 43, and he'll have about a 5-yard gain out to about the 40, picked it up at the 43. He'll make it to about the 47, 48. So Southeast of Saline will take over there. Good field position at the 48. Let's talk about these sacks, Jathan, because you look at the defense last year for Southeast of Saline. One of the weird things, one of the enigmas of that team last year, and the defense for Southeast of Saline, they went all season and only had 6 quarterback sacks. This year, this defense on the last game of the regular season so far has 21.
It just shows what that cohesive group does from one year to the next, how they can work with one another. But when you have a linebacker like Matthew and then a big line, and Jasper McDowell was out last year, could have really helped out the defensive line for Southeast causing those sacks, but somebody to plug up the middle like that just helps out so much.
Jude Golden is in the game. He'll take over tailback for at least a play or two, and he will have 6 yards on his first carry of the night. He'll advance the ball across the 50-yard line and put it at the 48, now in Beaver territory. 2nd down and 6. Golden stays in there. Daniel Kerr is also taken over here at quarterback. Clayton Meyer is in there as well. Luke Obermeyer in on offense. Golden stretches it out to the right-hand side, now trying to look back inside and go against the grain, and he's going to lose half a yard.
Golden trying to get on the outside corner. Got shut off there by Scott City, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for his Southeast. See what this different type of group with Daniel Kerr running the helms for his Southeast.
3rd down and 6 for Southeast of Saline. Golden in the backfield. Clayton Meyer also in tight. Kerr wants to pass. He rolls out, throws it southpaw, and it's going to be incomplete. Fell just short of freshman Tucker Thaxton out there at the sticks. Even if Thaxton could have came up with that, he would have been about a yard short, and that'll bring up 4th down now for Southeast of Saline with 5:54 left to go in the 3rd.
Like that opportunity there, having Tucker Thaxton on that flat, because he did some damage in the first couple of games when he was coming in on the varsity side in the early on with the starters, but here he's kind of held off a little bit here later in the season.
Obermeyer takes the snap from Chambers. It's another great snap, and Obermeyer makes this kick inside the 20. Scott City trying to return it, and they are just going to get back to the 20-yard line, then no more, as Southeast of Saline in there on great coverage. Couple of scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Inman now leads Smith Center in the third, 16-8. Also another score here as we check the scoreboard. Hoisington leads Beloit. That's a fast-moving game. In the fourth quarter, Hoisington leading Beloit 7-6.
Clayton Meyer doing a nice job on that special teams tackle. As he does, he's always back there, almost get a block or something, but he's always in the mix of a tackle on the special team side.
First down and 10 from the 20. Here's Scott City. Welker out on the left-hand side. He has some space out to the 30, 35, and then down the sideline. He stepped out of bounds. Brady Welker on a big run.
Just getting on the outside line of where Southeast Saline is at, but then those D-backs had a hard time bringing him down with Daniel Kerr and Boyd. But just where Southeast Saline can step up and cause something else to change up.
Out to the 39. It's a 19-yarder and the longest run of the night for the Beavers. 11 carries now, 40 yards for Brady Welker. From the 39, Scott City first down and 10. They're going to pitch it out. Try Welker now on the other side. Caden Isaacson, though, is there, and he grabs a handful of jersey and rips Welker down from behind for a 5-yard loss. It's almost like tonight, the Southeast defense, Jathan, they have a feeling of, we'll giveth, but then we'll taketh away.
Yeah, you think you can do it once, try it again, and see what happens, and that's where Caden Isaacson just came in and wiped that out and swept it out underneath him, and a loss of 5 on the play for Southeast, where now they're pinning the Beavers back.
A lot of second-teamers out there on defense now for Southeast of Saline, which has been pretty much their mantra through the whole season. Tucker Thaxton out here playing corner on the right-hand side. Wyatt Boyd has the other corner on the left-hand side. A lot of sophomores right now for Southeast. Here's Metzger back to pass. In trouble. He's going to be got again. Jasper McDowell takes him down, the 6th quarterback sack of the night. And Jasper McDowell and his guys up front, boy, they are just wrecking havoc on this Scott City offense.
One thing that hasn't changed is that defensive line with Nicholson and Blake and Jasper McDowell doing a tremendous job. And Jasper, those long arms, just enough to reach Metzger. Another loss here brings up third down and long for Scott City.
Metzger has been sacked 6 times tonight. He did have the carry early on in the first quarter for 12 yards. But all in all, he's lost 2 yards. 3rd and 17. Coming up here for Scott City. They're at their own 32-yard line. 4:08 left to go in the third. Here comes Isaacson on the blitz. He gets picked up. McDowell, though, does not. And they're going to try to float a little screen pass to Welker. It was a well-designed play. Welker, though, didn't catch the football, and it will go incomplete, bring up 4th down.
Tremendous job there for Southeast Saline, letting off that big play, offensive play. And you just think when Scott City has some momentum, then they get a quick sack and another loss of play and incomplete passing out brings up 4th down. Just nice job by the Southeast Saline defense once again on this drive.
Clock 4:02 left to go. Daniel Kerr will go back now for the punt return. Good punt. And it's going to bounce at about the 30, come to rest at about the 22. Chapman has extended their lead over Concordia as they're pushing for an NCKL title. The Irish up now 34-8 over Concordia. And Jathan, you and I talked about this a little bit of length on the way out today. Concordia was trucking right along. They were 6-0 on the season, and then all of a sudden the Panthers run into Riley County and get blown out. Looks like now they might be on their way to another blowout against Chapman.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to my friend Toby, and he's the radio guy for them, and looks like he'll be traveling to Colby next week, he was saying, just the way this game is going. And, yeah, I mean, we had quite the talk out here, long drive.
Kerr in there at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Golden, who tries the left-hand side. Jude Golden will make it to the 25, where it's a gain of 3.
Another thing about that game, I mean, it just kind of see where Concordia set themselves up at. I mean, with how good of a team they are. I mean, we knew Riley County was good, but where Chapman and Concordia, how good was Concordia really once they go up against Chapman, who played really well.
Chapman hung with Hiawatha, one of the better teams in the state this year. Hiawatha got away from them at the end of the game. They also beat Sabetha first game of the season. Did not play Wamego, though, which I thought was a little weird in their NCKL, but the way the districts are laid out now, Chapman's 3A, Wamego's 4A. They did not play the Red Raiders this year. But, of course, they were able to beat Marysville, beat Clay Center, beat Abilene. There's a flag on this play that went to the left-hand side for Southeast of Saline. It was a 2nd down and 7, and they're going to back Southeast up here. So we've been going through the second half relatively flag-free, but we got one there with 3:12 left to go. This one on Southeast, and it'll back the Trojans up to their own 15-yard line. Two receivers out to the right. Daniel Kerr in there at quarterback. He'll hand it off to Jude Golden again, straight up the gut. And Golden will plunge ahead to the 19, where he will gain 4. We'll bring up a 3rd down and long now for Southeast. 3rd and about 14.
One thing Sally Saline has done all season long is basically having the JV players, I'd say, as they're out there right now. I mean, it just builds that depth like we talked about early on. And with the injuries that happened this year, I mean, what a better opportunity than to have it come in at varsity time and really step up and play on a varsity level.
3rd and 14. Let's see what the Trojans can do here. Kerr in there at quarterback, little play action. He wants to roll out to his right. He is under pressure. Had Clayton Meyer out in the flat. It would have been nearly enough. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but coming on the blitz that time was Carter Gooden, and Gooden able to get Kerr into throwing that ball early, incomplete. So the second pass attempt by Daniel Kerr of the evening. And slowly but surely, and we're speculating at this just from a Southeast of Saline giving up points issue, Scott City's winning the field position battle here. Obermeyer's going to take this snap at his own 5. Here's the snap from Chambers. Boy, that thing comes out like a rocket, doesn't it? Obermeyer's going to have a good punt here, and it's going to take a left turn and roll out just short of the 50. So Scott City will come out here again on offense. 2:06 left to play in the third quarter. And good field position here at the midfield stripe.
Southeast bringing back their defense here on this drive. Kind of in a situation where haven't been too much into the game, but in the first half they were here. But see what this defensive does here against Beavers on this drive.
Scott City comes out there in a tight formation. I formation with a wing back and a tight end. No wide receivers. They're going to pitch it out to the left. It's Peregrino. He's looking for some space. There's a flag on the play. Obermeyer there on the tackle. It's only a gain of 2 past the line of scrimmage, but this may be a hold on the edge here against Scott City. It came from the outside official, and this will back Scott City up. So that'll put them on the other side of the 50-yard line, back on their own side of the field.
Nice to see Sally Saline get out to that outside edge and stop that play from progressing up forward more, as that flag is against Scott City, pushing back 10 yards. It remains first down.
Here's Clayton Meyer. He's going to come in for Caden Isaacson. Isaacson's had a good night. Of course, anytime you can get a pick 6 and a touchdown on defense, it's going to be a good evening for you, but he's played well. Now, really, over the past 3 weeks, he has been right up in there with the leading tacklers of the game. He's one of the leading tacklers on the team all season long. Just not a guy that we talk about a lot, but we should more. Just a junior. Here's a pitch out to Welker. Might have want the halfback pass. He lets it go, and Obermeyer almost had an interception. Boy, Welker tried to get rid of that football. It had the look of a halfback pass all the way, and Clayton Meyer didn't bet on any of that. He went right after Welker and was able to get him into an incomplete pass.
Just a nice job by Clayton Meyer on that outside. Almost able to get the sack, and just a tremendous play there. And even Evan Nicholson helping him out. But just a nice job there for the Trojan defense stepping up at the right time.
Ball back on the 42-yard line for the Beavers. 2nd down and 19 after the incompletion. Remember, the penalty hurt him here a little bit and put him in a big hole. 1:53 left to go here in the third quarter. Scott City now with 2 receivers on each side, a total of 4. Welker is the lone back in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. Looking for space. There is none. Jasper McDowell holds it down for a gain of 1 yard.
What do they think they keep seeing there, that they think there's a hole there with Jasper McDowell, Evan Nicholson, and Braxton Blake there? I mean, there's little or none there, and they keep trying the same play.
I don't know your field level. I was hoping maybe you could help me out on that, but all I see is a brick wall.
Yeah, there's nothing there in the opening game.
13 carries, 36 yards for Welker. And now Scott City is going to have to burn a timeout as they are confused about some of the alignment going on, and we will take it as well. 76 seconds left to go here in the third. It's 3rd and 18 for the Beavers. When we come back, you're listening and watching to Southeast of Saline football, brought to you by Saline Septic Service right here on KINA.
Stardust Trophy Downtown Salina has all the cool football medals and trophies your team needs for its players when their practice session pays off in big wins. Choose from tons of trophy styles and customize it exactly as you want. Stardust Trophy even has special trophies just for fantasy football leagues. Just for fun, choose football bobblehead trophies. Got an autographed or special football? Show it off in a special acrylic showcase from Stardust Trophy. 121 South Santa Fe, downtown Salina.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan football on KINA Sports.
I want to remind you, Kansas City Chiefs football coming up this weekend here on KINA and also in high definition on 99 KG. Here's the complete broadcast here on KINA with pregame starting at 11 o'clock on Sunday. The Chiefs on the road again. They're in Nashville to take on the Titans. Of course, Tennessee with a big win against the Buffalo Bills Monday night at home. So they get 2 in a row at home, taking on 2 big AFC opponents. 3rd down and 18 for Scott City. They try a double reverse here. Now they're going to try to turn it into a pass. This ball goes straight up in the air. Dylan Metzger's going to catch it, and he's still going to be about 11 yards short of the first down. Gained about 6 yards, though, on that play that is going to be hard to explain.
Yeah, he got rushed out, got tipped the line, and Metzger just happened to be in the right spot because it sure wasn't going to him. You almost wonder if there was even a offensive lineman down the field, but on that play, just because of the way the ball was up in the air.
Well, if that ball would have went where they intended on it to go, Wyatt Boyd might have had an interception because I was watching downfield. He had great coverage on the wide receiver that may have been the intended target, so that ball getting deflected and popping up, Metzger making the catch might have been good for Colby. They're going to go for it here. It's 4th down and 11, 25 seconds left to go in the quarter. Ball sitting at the 50-yard line, and now Scott City is going to take another timeout. So that will leave them with none, and it will leave us with a 30-second break. Back to close out the third after this on KINA.
You've probably been driving around car lots and wondering what in the world's going on. No one has very many cars. Hi, this is Tim Holm at Home Automotive Center. Things are changing every day, and our sales team is here to answer any questions you may have. Vehicles are selling differently, and they're moving faster than ever, and most models are still available with a little searching. We invite you to visit about your future and let us work with you with no commitment. Stop by at Home Automotive Centers in Abilene or Salina. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back with a check of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Chapman still leading at the end of the third, 34-8 over Concordia. Wamego leading Abilene 38-0 in the third. And in the third quarter, a running clock as Nemaha Central beating Republic County 47-0 on your Bennington State Bank scoreboard. 36-0 here. Southeast of Saline trying to get a stop on 4th down. Scott City called a timeout. Now they're going to try to punt it. Here's Brady Welker on the punt. This is a high, spiraling, end-over-end kick that is going to go into the end zone and a touchback. That's too bad because that was a great kick by Welker. Would have been a 50-yard punt, but just kept rolling and went into the end zone. Southeast of Saline will have it at their own 20 with 14 seconds left.
Let's hope Southeast Saline can get some offensive power going and going upfield, get the field position to change, let some of that defensive pressure go off of Southeast if they have to punt.
Concordia scored a touchdown, but still 34-14. Chapman still leading. Southeast takes over here at their own 20-yard line. 1st down and 10. This could be the last play of the third quarter. Here comes Wyatt Boyd in motion. He'll take the handoff, now sweeping to the right-hand side. Hit deep into the backfield, and he will lose about 3 yards. See where they're going to spot this thing here. It'll be the last play of the third, and that'll let us turn the corner to the fourth quarter. 21 consecutive quarters of scoreless football by the Southeast of Saline defense. Fourth quarter's coming up. Trojans lead it 36-0 here on KINA.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Saline Septic Services provides septic services including septic tank installation, inspection, and repair. In addition to professional septic tank services, we also provide portable restroom rentals. We have many options available, including his and hers portable restrooms and hand washing sinks. Setup, service, and removal are all part of our rentals. Whether you project a long-term construction job or a family gathering, we guarantee a clean porta potty. Find us today at SalinaSepticService.com, proudly supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans, from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnssalina.com.
Back here in Scott City, Devin Haney along with Jathan Show. Big Sam Pretty producing and engineering. Here's another score update on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard in our district. Colby leads Goodland in the third quarter. That's a close one still, 18-12. Second down and 12 for Southeast of Saline. They're backed up at their own 18-yard line as we start the fourth quarter, and a flag coming in before this one even gets underway, Jathan.
Clock's not set. Flag on the clock operator. Jason Walmsley does a tremendous job for Southeast on the home games. Give him a shout-out.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the Walmsleys also do a good job of feeding people.
Yeah, they do. They do a tremendous job feeding these football boys and just doing it for the Southeast Saline football team. They just love doing that, and great job for the Walmsleys. You know who's in the house, Devin?
Who's that?
Judy Hall.
Yes.
Yes, she's always here. Always good to see Judy.
Yes, sir. Here's Daniel Kerr rolling out. Second down and 12. Has a defender chasing him, and he's going to take a big sack here. That is going to be Gus Hawkins. The big 6'6" Hawkins came in, and the sophomore able to chase Daniel Kerr down from behind, and this is going to be a big loss for Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, big loss, pushing it back to the 6-yard line, and Daniel Kerr running out to the right side with his left throwing arm. I mean, it's kind of hard to throw across the body and running out to the right side, but that's where he kind of felt like he wasn't comfortable enough and decided just to take the sack.
So Southeast is going to be backed up all the way to their own 6-yard line where it's a 3rd and 24. Really, this second-team offense against the starting defenders for Scott City, they haven't been able to move the ball at all. Here's Kerr now, pitching it out. Jude Golden wants the left-hand side. Has some space. Good block there by Tucker Thaxton. Cut back. A flag on the play. Golden still running. This would have been for a first down. A tremendous run. And, boy, there's a dejection in the face and in the shoulders of Eli Jackson right now as he looks at the official right where the flag lays.
Come on, man.
Maybe a 4-yard gain before the flag came out, and it will be a holding against Southeast.
So there really will be a loss of 5 on the play, half a distance of the Golden. So just loss of 1 on the play.
Boy, a good run there, though, by Jude Golden. Tucker Thaxton was out here holding the edge and really did a nice job giving his running back some space to get along the sideline and get to that first down. But now, backed up even more. Where are they going to put this football out here? The referee's still walking around. They're going to put it on the 5. So 3rd and 24 from the 5-yard line. Southeast has 95 yards in front of them. But more importantly, they got to get some space here for the punt team and Luke Obermeyer if they can't get the first down. 2 wide receivers to the right. Thaxton a solo to his left. Meyer in to block. Golden the lone setback. Kerr looks over at the sidelines. He'll take the snap. Hands it off to Jude Golden. Straight up the gut. Golden looked like he might have had a crease, but that window closed quickly, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And that brings up 4th and long.
Josh Jacobson doing a nice job for D-line for Scott City, blocking up that middle as Southeast Saline is going to be a punt. And we thought Obermeyer was back deep punting. Now he's touching the heels on the end of the end zone.
1 yard is what they say Jude Golden got on that play. Line of scrimmage now out to the 6. Obermeyer back deep in his own end zone. Snap is perfect, right at the numbers. He's going to let this one go. Scott City will take it at the 42-yard line. Now to the 40, 35, and brought down there. The return man fell ahead to about the 33, and this Southeast of Saline defense is going to be tested once again. The Trojans lead at 36-0, 10-16 left to go, and I forgot what it was like to sit through a football game where the clock is acting normally in the fourth quarter and not running.
Yeah. Might make this trip a little bit longer because it's 9 o'clock, Devin.
That first quarter is what killed us. We had a 42-minute first quarter. We count on, sometimes we can do that and count on getting that time back at the end of the game, but so far that's not the case.
They put 12 on the clock, right? For 42 minutes?
First down and 10 here for the Beavers at the Southeast of Saline 33-yard line. This has been their best starting position so far of the night. Here's the pitch out to Peregrino. He's got some space. He's inside the 25 and brought down at the 23. It's a gain of 10. Let's see if they give him the first down. As Cesar Peregrino got 10 on the play, and they're going to say first down. His longest play of the night. 4 carries, 18 yards for Peregrino. Football sitting at the 18. 22. At the 22. First down and 10. Scott City now this time in the I formation with Welker in front of Peregrino. Metzger takes the snap. Gives it to Peregrino. He's going to have a crease off the left-hand side, but then that window is slammed pretty hard after a 1-yard gain.
Nicholson and Meyer doing a nice job on that side, clearing it up, tackling them down. Short gain on the play.
Obermeyer on the tackle, no gain on the play. Maybe got a half a yard. Second down coming up here for Scott City. Again, a tight formation with 2 wingbacks and a tight end. Just 1 wide receiver for the Beavers. They'll turn. They want to throw. Metzger has it out and overthrows his wide receiver. It was Peregrino out of the backfield. Incomplete. Metzger throwing the football here in this half is 1 of 3.
Give a lot of credit for that 1 and 3 this half, just to that D-line, putting that pressure on him, causing him to rush those throws, not be able to set.
An incomplete pass will stop the clock with 9:08 left to play in this game. Still 36-0, Southeast of Saline. Things have been quiet here in the second half after Southeast led it 30-0 at halftime. Third down and 10 for Scott City from the Southeast 22. 2 receivers to the left-hand side. 1 to the right. Metzger back to pass. Lollipop over the middle, and it looked like Thaxton might have been coming in, maybe a step off of getting an interception, but that pass is incomplete as well. Metzger now 2 of 5 passing the football here in this second half for the game. He is 4 of 11. Fourth down coming up. 4th down and 10.
Kind of just a dangerous throw there, thrown up into the middle, almost where he could only get to his defender. But when you have 4 people around it, almost should have been intercepted for Southeast. Just nobody wanted to come in and try to get it.
Big play here for the Southeast defense. 4th down and 10. Scott City from the Southeast 22-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. The big tight end over here to the right all by himself. Here comes the blitz. Van Amberg comes in there. Metzger tries to get away, and he can. He is sacked again. Boy, Metzger stepped around Jasper McDowell, but then it was Jace Van Amberg that came in and helped clean him up along with Clayton Meyer. That is quarterback sack number 7 for Southeast of Saline in this game. And again, the Trojan defense stands tall.
This defense is just unreal, the way they're working together. So cohesive, even with the different linebackers in the backfield helping out each other. I mean, you got a lot of players that are getting a lot of experience in this second half of the game, as even more younger ones are coming on the field for Southeast.
But also, Jathan, I think you have to mention, too, a lot of the defense on the field right now are second and third teamers. I mean, these are guys that are not starters. They're going against mostly starters for the Scott City offense tonight. First down and 10 here. That's the second turnover on downs here in the second half for Scott City. They're going to pitch it out Jude Golden. Southeast needs to get some yards and start flipping this field here back the other way. Golden makes it out to the 30. That'll be a gain of 6. Already his 7th carry of the night. 24 yards for Jude Golden. Out to the 30. That keeps that clock moving. Now 8.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth. If you missed it earlier, talking next week, Southeast of Saline locked into a first-round game against the Marysville Bulldogs. We'll have it for you from Southeast of Saline right here on KINA. K-Prep's preview show starts at 6. Trojan pregame starts at 6:30. And then Trojan football kicks off at 7 o'clock. Here's the quarterback read. It goes now Daniel Kerr. Still works with Kerr in there at quarterback. He brings it out to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 12.
Play's been good there all night. Just like you said earlier, bread and butter, right up the middle. It's just knifing this defense that Scott City's trying to bring, just stopping everything outside, but they aren't stopping the middle against the quarterback run.
Southeast now changing tempos as they come and throttle back down. When they start out the game, boy, they go so fast you can't hardly keep up with them, but they have throttled it back down now. Brenton Heller is into the game at right tackle. Also into the game. Mac Chambers has been in there. Rutherford's been in there. Slade Johnson is in there. What's going on, Jathan?
Play clock issue. It wasn't running, and the play clock was running, so they're just trying to get this game done and over with, and clock isn't even starting yet. So now they're going to run 20 seconds off this clock, and they'll start the play clock on that.
Okay, thank you. Still a work in progress.
Maybe. Just start the clock. Just let it click down and then start it back up. Let's go.
Central's leading South as we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Salina Central up 42-7. Colby has scored again. They're leading Goodland 24-12. Inman leading Smith Center 24-8. So still just yielding that 11 points is Inman. Into the third, Wamego leading Abilene 38-0. Back to action here. First down and 10, southeast of Saline. Football setting at the 42-yard line. Here's the give to Jude Golden, working his way now into the second level across the 50, brought down at the 46. A gain of 12 by Jude Golden. Nice run.
Yeah, nice job by Jude finding that crease. Just kept going left, and finding good for a Southeast Trojan first down. Just tremendous job here by this line right now. And then this group kind of getting a rhythm as they've had this opportunity at the third possession here.
Yeah, and a chance to push it into Scott City territory. This group here of offensive players for Southeast of Saline hasn't had the chance to do that much here in the second half. But now they have a new set of downs. First down and 10 with the nose of the football sitting at the Scott City 45-yard line. Clock continues to roll. Southeast of Saline taking it all the way down to 5 seconds on the play clock. Here comes Whitty in motion. They're going to hand it off to Jude Golden. His feet come out from underneath him, and he gets half a yard. 9th carry of the night for Jude Golden. 16 points in the second quarter for Southeast of Saline tonight. They led 14-0 at the end of one, 30-0 now at halftime. 36 they scored on the opening drive of the second half, and that's where we've been stuck ever since. Not a lot of yardage or points to talk about here in this second half as we will go through final numbers in postgame. Southeast right now just running the football and taking that clock all the way down. Play clock at 4. They'll come to the line of scrimmage. Snap back to Daniel Carey. Drops it, and he'll have to cover it up there back at the 49. That'll be a loss of 5.
Ball just got tipped away by Jude Golden out of the hands of Daniel Kerr. But at least Southeast Saline recovered it. And they'll bring up third down here for Southeast.
I think it's worth mentioning Nathan Weller in there at center behind Braxton Blake. He's the second-string center and does a pretty good job as well. The sophomore, 210 pounds, comes in, and most of his snaps are right on the money back to whoever may be behind him. Daniel Kerr most of the time at number 2. Then Nate Friesen will come in and play a little bit towards the end of the games as well. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Golden in the pistol formation behind Carey. Went the wrong way, or Carey went the wrong way, one of the two, and now Daniel Karras to fight for yardage. A flag comes in after a gain of 4. That play was not in sync to start out with, and Southeast gets a hold.
No, they're rushing up to get to the line and trying to get the snap with 2 seconds left, and it's going to be penalty is declining. They'll bring up 4th down for Southeast.
Southeast has taken this clock down, Jathan, all the way under the 5-minute mark. Fourth down and 11, it looks like. Ball sitting on the 46. Still having trouble with the play clock, game clock operation. Play clock is not running, game clock is. Now the play clock finally starts. Obermeyer, if he chooses, can take this all the way down to about 4:22. Play clock at 10. Metzger back deep here, along with Colin McDaniel for Scott City. Obermeyer takes the snap. And this foot goes into this one at the 9. Metzger mishandles it, and he'll have to cover it up there. Scott City will bury themselves in field position back at the 9-yard line. So pretty good punt there by Luke Obermeyer once again, and the Beavers will have to start back at their own 9 with 4:17 left to go. They have 1 timeout remaining. 36-0, Southeast of Saline.
New defensive line for Southeast Saline. Eli Jackson up there along with Slade Johnson. And it also looks like Nathan Weller for the D-line.
Weller and Johnson switch here on the ends around Jackson. Metzger coming out, wants to pass it, has a running back out in the flat. That play hasn't worked all night for Scott City. They have not completed hardly any of those. Maybe one of the easier passes you're going to see, but just cannot get it completed. Another incompletion there. Stops the clock with 4:13 left to go, 2nd down and 10. Scott City breaks the huddle. Long field in front of them. Metzger ducks under center. He's going to hand it off to Peregrino. He wants the left-hand corner. Has some space, but then he is brought down quickly after a gain of about 3 yards. Jace Van Amberg, one of the guys in on that tackle.
Along with Josiah Monday doing a nice job staying home, is getting there, but Jace Van Amberg doing a nice job this outside, keeping him contained.
Here's an update in district play for the title, Andale and Collegiate, Wichita Collegiate. 3:28 left to go in the 4th quarter. Andale leading Wichita Collegiate 29-6. Clay Center gets a win over Council Grove, 66-8. Here's Metzger rolling out to the right. Mac Chambers there to meet him. Metzger looked like he had some space, and he's actually going to stumble ahead for a gain of about 4 yards. But Mac Chambers came in and kind of put to bed any idea that he had of getting out of there.
Yeah, nice job by Mac getting a hand on that foot, tripping him up. Brings up a 4th down short conversion here for Scott City.
It's like 4th and about 2. Football sitting right now at the 17-yard line. This drive started back on the 9. 2:58 left to go. Metzger with 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Excuse me, they're going to punt. I didn't see Welker back there. He was hiding. Here's a good punt. Nobody back for Southeast of Saline. And Scott City's going to let this one roll down to the 37. And that is where Southeast of Saline will come out and try to put this one to bed. Colby into the 3rd quarter, leading Goodland 24-12. Actually, Sam just updated that. 30-12 now, Colby. So it looks like Colby is going to take custody of P2, position number 2, in District 6 here in Class 3A. So as you called it earlier, Jathan, Concordia and Colby next week. There's Nate Friesen in there, tailback. He's going to run off the right-hand side, maybe got a yard.
Just kind of get a feel of everybody here on the field, get everybody getting playing time on a Friday night. It's just always nice to see where they're going to be at. And in the next few years, Southeast Salene's got a lot of looking up to here for the Trojans in the near future.
From the 38, Friesen takes a sprint off the right-hand side. Golden out there blocking. Friesen breaks a tackle, and he might go. Nathan Friesen down the right-hand sideline, and he is going to take it into the end zone. Nathan Friesen able to score again. We have seen him do that a couple of times this year late in the game, and this one a 62-yard touchdown run for Southeast of Saline and Nate Friesen.
Once he gets on the outside corner, it's hard to even catch him, and just his quick little body just keeps going upfield and finds that edge, and that's where he goes at.
The sideline pretty happy for sophomore Nate Friesen as he is able to score with 2 minutes left to go here in this one. A 62-yard touchdown run. Boy, once he got that corner and that block from Jude Golden, he was gone.
I thought about trying to chase him down and see if I could catch him. But
you wouldn't have.
No.
You can think about it all you want. You're not going to get anything there. Now here's a timeout for Southeast of Saline. Let's take it. Here's a 30 and then back with the conversion after this.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
To Coach Gebhardt, the players, coaches, and fans, let's make this a Football Friday to remember. Roselawn Memorial Park wishes you success this season. For more, visit roselawnssalina.com.
Back here at Scott City, and time now to present our Everhart Precision Ag Precision Pass of the Game. And, Jathan, there's a couple of really good ones here tonight, but I think the one that I'm leaning towards is the Gebhardt to Gebhardt connection, where Jake Gebhardt caught that ball on the right-hand sideline for 31 yards in the third quarter, and he was able to fight off a defensive pass interference call and make that catch over the shoulder from quarterback Luke Gebhardt. There's a pitch out on the two-point conversion here after the Friesen touchdown. Jude Golden looking for the end zone, and he is going to be denied just short of the goal line. So our score remains 42-0, Southeast of Saline. So let's take a break. Let's do 60 here, Sam. Back with the conclusion of this one. 2 minutes left here in Scott City.
Can I have your attention, please? Listen carefully. The zombies are here, and this is your guide to survive the invasion. Join the zombie expedition south of Salina at Elite Sports Paintball Field. Invest just $15 for a ride through the zombie-infested fields. You will get 100 flesh-eating paintballs and all the equipment you need to fight off real, live zombies. Rides start at dark every Friday and Saturday in October. Visit zombieexpedition.com for more information or Facebook so you can join the zombie expedition.
When termites strike your home or business, you want to fight back with the best. Hasman Termite and Pest Control to the rescue. With over 57 years experience, they offer the best of options, including the new BASF High Precision Injection Treatment. Don't let termites get you down. With one phone call to Hasman's, they can put one in the win column for you. Call Hasman Termite and Pest Control today or visit HasmanTermite.com and follow them on Facebook.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Here's the kickoff for Southeast of Saline after Nate Friesen's 62-yard touchdown run. Scott City will take it back to the 24-29-yard line now as the Beavers coming out for what could be their last drive of the game. 1:54 left to go in this one. Southeast of Saline leads it 42-0. Live stream video tonight on SalinaPost.com. If you want to watch it a little bit later, too, if you're in the stands tonight and you want to watch it on your way home, or when you get home, just go to SalinaPost.com and you can see the replay of tonight's contest. That's all brought to you by our friends at Salina Septic Service. First down and 10 for Scott City from the 29-yard line. Metzger under center. He looks, turns, gives it to Peregrino, and Peregrino getting piled up by Southeast of Saline defense, who's still in there doing some work, a 2-yard loss.
Tucker Thaxton doing a nice job, and Slade Johnson finishing up that tackle. Nice job by Tucker Thaxton, wrapping him up.
Andale beats Wichita Collegiate. This is the final, the top 2 teams in Class 3A. Not even close. Andale wins this one 29-6. Hoisington beats Beloit tonight on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard 7-6. How do you like that, Jathan Show? A defensive guy, 7-6 game?
Yeah, that's quite a game. Always nail-biting. It's fun to announce those games.
Is it?
I think so.
Here's Metzger back to pass, and he is going to be greeted in a quarterback sack by Josiah Monday. The sophomore comes in, and another sack for the Southeast of Saline defense. That is number 8. Wow. 47 seconds left to go, and a 10-yard loss. Just an incredible performance tonight by the Southeast defense.
Look at the defense that this team has to go up against on the offensive side at practice. I mean, they go up against the varsity, and they're getting a lot of good playing minutes during that. But right now they're showing off on the varsity side on the Friday night.
It's a great point. Here's Brady Welker. He's trying the right-hand side. Monday there to close him down again. And this will be at the 23. Maybe got a gain of 2. 38 yards for Brady Welker on the night, and Scott City has seen enough. That'll be our final. Southeast of Saline completes a sweep of the regular season. Once again, they will close out the regular season 8-0 as they head to the playoffs next week with a perfect record. They are the District 6 champions in Class 3A, and they do it again with a defensive performance for the ages. 42-0, our final score. Southeast of Saline now with 22 straight quarters of shutout football as they beat Scott City here on the road 42-0. When we come back, we'll have comments from Mitch Gebhardt, also final numbers from this game, and we will pick a Vernon Jewelers Gem of the Game. If you've been paying attention the last few weeks, you already know what it is. That's coming up on postgame. It's brought to you by Commercial Tire Centers. Whether you're out on a sporting event, your next Trojan event, or just going to work, you want to make sure your tires are good shape and where the rubber meets the road. Also a friendly reminder from our friends at Commercial Tire Center, as the temperature drops, so does the inflation in your tires. You may have to put a couple extra pounds of air pressure to make your ride safe. If you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, just visit the experts at Commercial Tire with 2 locations in Salina. Postgame next, 42-0. Southeast wins it here on KINA.
At Commercial Tire Centers, we know you have many places to be and lots of things to see. Your tires are everything, and we are here to serve you. From the smallest lawnmower tire to passenger tires, farm tires, and the largest truck and commercial tires, call Commercial Tire. Oil changes, suspension service, alignment, too many things to mention. The trusted tire experts are at Commercial Tire Center.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
The name is JJ Lawn Care, but don't let the name fool you. It's not just lawns they care about, it's their customers. JJ Lawn Care is a locally owned business that works with people in and around Salina on more than just lawns. Warm weather is winding down. Fertilizing and winterizing your lawn and removing those pesky leaves can be a real chore. Let JJ Lawn Care come to the rescue for your fescue. Give Jathan a call today at 820-7728. JJ Lawn Care, caring for more than just your lawn.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for rural property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at SalinaHomes.com.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojans!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.